We have some new blood in the Dexter franchise with another season dose of everyone's favourite serial killer, but instead of an injection of Dexter Morgan, we get injected with Jim Lindsay. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. It is here for our first review of Dexter New Blood Episode 1, Season 1. I think it's going to be the only season. It is called Cold Snap, and instead of our protagonist being Dexter Morgan, we get introduced to Jim Lindsay, who he ain't no Dexter Morgan. I mean, he ain't even no Kyle Butler. I mean, Dexter's used a bunch of fake aliases over the years, but this might be one of the worst one yet. And the worst thing is, he's actually stuck with it. It's his name going forward. Big Jim.
I don't know what to make of this, man. Obviously, right. Ideal world, we watched this before Resurrection. This felt like Resurrection in terms of the intro, in terms of... there was wee minor things that made it feel like Resurrection. It definitely... It's right, make no mistake about it. New Blood and Resurrection have got a lot more similarities in the first 8 seasons.
Yeah, going into this, I honestly thought this would feel more like Dexter Season 8 than it would feel like Resurrection, but... that's not the case. I think this feels more like Resurrection than it does Season 8.
It makes me wonder, though, why
has this one got so many bad reviews? Why is this one looked upon negatively, but Dexter Resurrection is being reviewed on positively, when they seem to have taken a lot of similarities? Even if you look at the intro from like the name of the episode appearing, I know that's minor. Also, the music that seems to be loud and take over scenes seems to be heavily focused on the music, like Resurrection. I mean, I'm not saying that's the only comparisons, but that's the first two things I noticed.
I think people mainly bash this because Harrison shoots Dexter at the end, but looking back now, Dexter didn't die. I don't think the ending looks all that bad in hindsight, but again, I think this episode would have hit different if this is the first Dexter you're seeing after 8 years. Us going, I know we have to refute it, right, as if we're watching it for the first time, right? I understand that. But see, just finishing Resurrection, knowing, like, Batista tracked him down and died, and he went to New York, and Iron Lake just feels like it's full of nobodies.
Yeah, listen, in an ideal world, we would have watched this before Resurrection, but we just didn't have the time, so we're having to watch it after Resurrection. But going to still go in and try and be fair and try and judge it accordingly. So we start with Dexter, and we see him out in, Iron Lakes. It looks like he's in Alaska or something like this, just full of snow. But I like the new setting. It's definitely different from Miami.
Yes, then I
can't complain. It feels new.
It's like the end of Breaking Bad with Walters in the snow.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. We see Dexter. He's went from never mind killing humans. He doesn't even kill animals anymore. He's trying to befriend this deer. We then see him get in his car. He's heading to Iron Lake. He's pulled over by a cop, and she sees the knives in the front seat, the passenger seat, calls him out, starts like giving him the pat down, and then it just like skips to them in the back of her car having sex, and we find out at this point that she knows Jim Lindsay and that they're actually dating. So this is Jim's, or should I say Dexter's, call him what you want. I'm just going to call him Dexter.
Yeah, I mean, it is Dexter. Let's not call him Jim, but... it's like this relationship, it's like, okay, but it's like, I don't know, after 8 years, I felt like they would have fucking went for something big here at the start. Just Dexter running around, I'm not a passenger. I like a wee song. I like that song too, but, and then he like walks around Iron Lake, get introduced
paying homage maybe to Walter. He got pulled over while that song was playing. Did he not?
It's fucking Horse with No Name, mate. 2 different songs.
Was it? You sure?
Aye.
Alright.
Sure, you see, Walters. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name.
Alright,
this song was in Sons.
Alright, so I knew that similar.
When Frankie Diamond ordered the 2 East Dub guys to shoot Jax and Chibs off the bikes.
Right, well, she gets a call, so they have to end their little sex party. So, tell you what, remember Dexter in the original? I mean, he never really wanted anything to do with sex. Like, he never really wanted to get intimate with Rita, but now he's a big whoremeister, isn't he? I mean, he pretty much sleep with every woman going.
Even towards the end of the original show, he was like that.
No, I'm not saying he's not, but I'm saying, like, at the beginning.
Ah, well, yeah, the first 4 seasons, guy's fucking...
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
You were almost forgiven Dexter in, like, season 1 to be gay or something.
I mean, I don't know if I'd say the first 4 seasons, because he has an affair with Lila. I mean... I think that if
They
Rita,
were off. They were on a break.
yeah, but I mean, if Rita passed away at the end, oh god, if Rita died at the end of season 1, then who's to say that Dexter wouldn't have been sleeping around with everybody?
That is true, but I just see Iron Lake, man. Who's here? Who's interested me? And apparently Harrison's really bad in this one compared to Resurrection.
Well, we get introduced to some of the residents of Iron Lake, but no one really interesting. We've got a butcher that Dexter gives his knives to, and we see him. I think it's Christmas time. They're getting ready for Christmas.
His co-worker.
Me and Garrett are thinking about adopting. We're gonna call him Garfield.
And I'm thinking, this better be a fucking dog, man. And it is.
I'd rather it be a cat, but at least it's not a kid. But yeah, listen, it did seem very woke. I mean, people are saying, what do you mean by woke? Well, I just mean, like, they are kind of pushing all the minor representatives. They're pushing, like, leftist ideologies and leftist beliefs. And I mean, even, like, the woman with the wheelchair who's got, like, the leg amputees and she's dancing. And I mean, I'm not saying that you can't have someone, definitely not, but that it wasn't really noticeable like 10, 15 years ago.
And also the big evil white guy that was like
he seems like
you're drilling.
Yeah, so you got the guy that's
it wasn't played by a black woman, put it that way.
Yeah, so you got the guy that's doing the drilling. They're all chanting. All these little fascists outside. All these little woke lefties are all chanting, "Oh, stop the drilling! You're killing our city. You're killing our earth." And then you have Matt who comes in to buy a gun, and Dexter can't sell it to him because he needs his ID. But straight away, you kind of see that this guy is getting on Dexter's nerves. He's acting cocky. He's acting arrogant. Even the way he was acting with the knife, I think you could just tell straight from the get-go here, this guy's going to end up on Dexter's table.
Yeah, you just... And I think that's the good thing about Dexter. It's like, you just don't act this way around him and get away with it. Now, if the guy didn't kill anyone... But see, I think this kills kind of like blurred lines because, yeah, he killed people, but it wasn't out and out murder, was it? I think it's definitely a grey area.
Yeah, so he wants Dexter to sell him the gun. Dexter's not selling him the gun. He says you're going to have to come back the next day. We then see Dexter go with, is it Angela?
Angela.
The female cop.
To some, like, bar,
yeah,
tavern.
They go to the tavern. There's, like, some sort of party in there. Matt's in there getting drunk, and you can just see this guy's behaviour. It's irritating Dexter. The following day, Dexter has to take the gun up to Matt's place. So he does so. He doesn't want to, but for some reason, home delivery, Dexter Morgan,
we're picking up Garfield. You're going to have to do it, Dexter.
He's your man, so Dexter goes, gives him the gun, but we see Matt. He's just too busy having sex, and his friend Bill, I think his friend's called Bill.
Dickface.
Yeah, Dickface. And
I don't think the tattoo looked like a dick, but...
No, but I mean, he made a dick of himself in front of Dexter, and he spills his guts and basically reveals, here, Matt was actually driving this boat, so there was a boat incident that killed 5 people. Turns out Matt was driving it, but Bill lied because he was given a Rolex, and Matt's dad... Yeah, $2,000. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the introduction of Kirk Caldwell, Mr. Krabs, but I thought his son was a good cat. To me, who was the best character in this episode? Outside of Jim Lindsay, I'd say definitely the son.
Yeah, it probably was him, so then we see some girl, I don't know who she is, but she's asked Dexter not to tell her father what she's doing. He says, I won't if you get out of here. Then we get like a little confrontation between Dexter and Matt. Matt gets the gun, he's like waving it about, points it at Dexter, and then Dexter smashes him with the gun, but it turns out just to be a vision. Like, Dexter wants to do it, but he's not about that anymore, because it's been over 10 years since he actually killed a human.
Also, what about the introduction of Deborah as Harry, essentially?
We didn't really get to see much of her, but I think it could work. I think it's something different.
I think because he's such in a different frame of mind, it suits him more compared to Harry. Because Harry wouldn't tell him to, like, usher Harrison away for the door. Harry'd be like, get your son, boy. He wouldn't want him out in the wilderness. But...
Yeah, it seems like maybe Deborah's worried about Harrison and just sees what happens when people are around Dexter, and I guess so. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I'm not saying that the Harry and Dexter dynamics boring or overdone, and I would like to think there's room for both Harry and Deborah in this show, but I've got a feeling that Harry's not going to appear in New Blood.
Yeah, I've got that feeling as well. I just agree. It's like, we've settled between Harry and Brian, but why can't we get Harry and Deborah?
Well, that's what I was thinking, right? We've never really seen Brian and Brian and Harry, right? I've never interacted, but Brian and Deborah have, so I think it would have been really cool if in this.
Well, Brian and Harry have interacted. Just know these.
Well, yeah, but I think it would have been cool that if we perhaps seen both the spirits of, or whatever they are, the imaginations of Deborah and Brian at the same time, with Deborah trying to be like the good side of Dexter and Brian being the bad side. I think something like that could have certainly worked. But yeah, so Matt gets his gun, and then we see the following day, I believe it is, or maybe it's later that day, Dexter he's been working on this goat, trying to get close to it, trying to get the goat to feel safe around him. And finally, he gets to touch
It's a deer. It's not a goat.
All right, the deer. Sorry,
He does have
goats. So weird-looking goats, big black goats.
Billy Black goat.
Anyway, Dexter manages to pet the goat, and then bang, out of nowhere, the goat gets shot, and it's Matt. Matt runs over and goes, "Oh, dude, I almost tagged you there." And at this point, Dexter's like, that goat didn't do anything. That goat didn't deserve that. Deer didn't deserve that. And Matt's like, what's your problem, kind of deal. And Dexter just smashes him in the head with a gun. And then he kind of just puts the goat out of his misery, and the goat's blood
goes over his blood.
Yeah, covers up the blood of Matt. And I mean, at this point, I thought Dexter was just going to let it go, but he doesn't. He prepares a kill room, and Matt ends up on his table.
And here you get the typical scene where he confronts him over what he's done, and I liked it. But like I said earlier, do you think this Matt guy, even though he's a dick and he did kill people, right? Is this like would Dexter in season 1 of this show kill him? I don't think he would. I know you could say, well, here he's been out the game almost a decade here, right? But I honestly believe that this kill, I'm not saying it's unjust, but it's like when Miguel wanted him to kill Ellen Wolf. I know she didn't really kill anyone, right? Well, this guy actually did. But this guy did it.
Yeah, I think we'll put a poll up. As much as he seems like an absolute dick and maybe a danger, and yeah, he did crash into that boat. Did he intend to kill those people? I'm not entirely sure.
No, I guess Dexter did kill that guy in season 1, the drunk driving, but I feel like that's a wee bit. It's a bloody line. But yeah, he kills him. Good scene. He's like, my dad's gonna find you. He knows everybody in this town. Dexter, kills him. Looks in the mirror. Hello, Dexter Morgan. We also had Harrison pull up, and then Dexter blanked him. His dad was like, let him go. But then he finally confronts Harrison at the bus stop, and Harrison's like, I thought you didn't know me. After Miami, I could never get used to this cold, son. So yeah, I mean, these two getting. I feel like that's another problem though with New Blood. It's just going to be these two. Like, I know, yeah, you're going to have Angela, right, and things like that, but I look at Resurrection, it was a star-studded cast.
Yeah, New Blood doesn't seem to have that cast, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. That's pretty much it. Dexter then takes Harrison home to his cabin.
There also was blood outside Dexter's cabin at the end.
And this surprised me, because I get it, he's not done it in a year, and he did say that, I'm a bit rusty and all this stuff, and he did point out that the kill room was messy and it wasn't up to his usual standards, but it just seems a bit amateurish here for Dexter to leave all these footprints or whatever it was, these blood prints.
Aye, not like blood all over the snow. But yeah, I mean, I thought the episode was decent, but it did feel a bit off. It didn't. I understand it, right? They're trying to paint him as this new guy, this new life he's living, but I don't know, it kind of fell a bit flat, but it picked up towards the end. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it I'll give it a 7. I'll give it a 7, because I was thinking 6.5. I think that's a fair rating, so, yeah. If you get it a 7, I was going to get a 6, so
I'll hope this isn't the best episode. I don't think it will be, though.
No, it shouldn't, because I think once we get introduced to more characters and we get familiar with them, then it should pick up. But the problem is, if the characters aren't that great, then you could argue that the more we get familiar with them, the decline the show could go on.
But I think it's just natural, though, right? That a season. I mean, I know, but I think Batista's definitely in this. But this season, after season 8, you're completely wiping out Miami and all its connected characters. Like, yeah, there's not a lot alive, right? But you're wiping out the whole department. So Masuka, Quinn, Batista are not going to be here regularly, and Resurrection, it's not like they were in it all that often, but Batista was in it a lot. It just feels like we've got this community, and it's like we need this community to deliver. And so far, it's like, I mean, I think Angela's alright. The police department feel very mundane. Like, it's just a bunch of kids, you know.
Well, I'm not going to bash them too much because we didn't get to see much of them, like, so, I mean, listen, I'll give it a chance.
I know, but look at that episode, man, when you get introduced to, like, the serial killers with Praetor. Episode 4. I was like, holy fuck. These characters seem to all have something about them.
True. But, well, who knows? Maybe there'll be an episode in this where we get introduced to a bunch of characters and we'll be like, oh,
Hopefully, guys.
they've got something about them. But for now, it's a 6 out of 5, guys. We'll catch you for
No,
episode
6.5
2.
out of 10, mate.
What did I say?
6 out of 5.
Oh, God, aye.
Oh,
6.5
Dave
out of 6.5 out of 10. We'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace. Harrison Morgan was able to track down his father, Jim Lindsay, but will the people of Iron Lake be able to track down Matt Caldwell? I'm going to go out and guess no. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here to review Dexter New Blood, Season 1, Episode 2. This one was called Storm of Fuck. I made a lot of F-bombs, made a lot of rants, and a lot of them came from Deborah Morgan, who has replaced Harry in this whole ghost sort of angle, this ghost character that speaks to Dexter, that he sees visions of and he can communicate with. Now, I think Deborah's a great character, however, I'm not really digging her in this role. I get why she's upset. She knows what her brother's capable of, but I just feel like she's coming... I mean, Harry Morgan also knew what Dexter was capable of, but he came across as sympathetic, loving. Now, maybe Deborah resents Dexter. Maybe he thinks that he's the reason I'm dead. He fucked up my life. He fucked up the life of so many people. But, you know, she does come across as very antagonistic. I finally got it out there.
No, you did, but again, Dexter and Deborah, at the end of Season 8, which we need to review, by the way, they made their peace, and also her trying to, like, convince Dexter to be a good guy is essentially what got her killed. Because if Dexter continued on his way, I think Oliver Saxon would have fucking died. But
yeah.
He was like, you know what, I'll give you him then. He got free because Kozik walked in, my lemon-headed sucker, and she got shot in the process.
That is very true, but listen, New Blood...
She's just very annoying. As for New Blood...
I think it's okay, but I can kind of see why it never got renewed for a Season 2. Even though there's been talk about a Season 2 renewal, I think that's not going to happen because we've got Resurrection.
What's the point? Yeah, what is the point? I mean, the rumours were that Dexter was killed off and they were going to give Season 2 to Harrison, which would have flopped on its arse, let's not pretend otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, could we have got a Season 2 of New Blood if Harrison was like the main Morgan? And then they also went and did Resurrection, and then perhaps you could have had Dexter and Harrison reunite in Resurrection later on. I mean, possibly, but the fact that we've got Resurrection now, it just makes no sense. I don't know how New Blood ends, but it just makes no sense for them to go back to New Blood. It's okay.
Well, it ends with him shooting them.
Well, yeah, well, obviously, but that's one thing. I don't know how the rest of it ends, or the other characters. I don't know how they get wrapped up.
They're not very fucking interesting, I'll say that. I mean, Resurrection, no, actually, the start of Original Sin kind of shows you Dexter getting carted away in the ambulance.
This show does seem very woke, in my opinion, and I think you can just see there's a big representation on gay characters. We've got the oil and...
guy looking for Matt?
Oil is bad, you know, rich white man bad kind of deal, and you've got, like, the kids seem to be... like social justice warriors. I think you can see that they definitely got away from this in Resurrection, which had the original showrunner Clyde Phillips back. This didn't.
Did it not? No, I thought this did. Which is kind of funny though, because seeing you actually think of it, it's like you would expect a show that's based in New York City to probably be a bit more woke than this one that's set in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I think they toned it back a bit. I think they've looked at this and went, "Oh no, we made a mistake." That's not me bashing the whole show, but you can just tell.
No, see the
old, push agendas in this.
Oh, right. See the old oil owner guy, whatever he's called. He was right. It's like these kids that are outside, like with most libtards, they don't actually understand what they're pushing for, and that they don't understand real problems,
and they don't contribute.
Yeah,
unlike this guy who's actually given his resources and given his money and given his helicopter for them to actually even go and look for this Matt Caldwell guy. Anyway, Dexter and Harrison, they reunite.
I would say, quickly before we move on, I'd say it's quickly heading on its way for me to be the worst season of Dexter. Worse than season 8 so far. I know it's only 2 episodes.
See, no, the thing is, nobody raves about New Blood. Nobody says that New Blood's up there with the best seasons. Some people think it's mid, in terms of middle of the pack, and then some people think it's low, like towards the bottom. I haven't really seen anyone who puts it below season 8 yet. But no, I don't think season 8's as bad as people make it to be.
No.
But it was disappointing, because I think season 7 picked up, and then season 8 was...
The thing that pisses me off about New Blood, maybe we'll judge it differently after we finish it, but it's like, after 8 years, you would expect them to come up with something like Resurrection. Like, Resurrection felt big. Like, big actors. I think the Kurt Caldwell character will be good, but at the end of the day, it's Mr. Krabs, you know what I mean? He's not Tyrion Lannister.
Yeah, I mean, after we reviewed Dexter New Blood, we'll do a tier list. I think we'll rank all the seasons from Dexter, and then you got New Blood, Original Sin, and Resurrection. I think we'll do a tier list, but yeah, for me, I do think that New Blood... I know we're only 2 episodes in, but I think it's towards the bottom of that tier list. Anyway, Dexter Harrison reunited. He says that, Hannah died, and then he managed to track down. He got a parcel from Jim Lindsay, who was claiming to be like his father or whatnot, and then he managed to track him down on Instagram as part of a bowling team. So, well, it looks like Dexter, Jim Lindsay, they can't get away from the bowling team.
Do you know how many Jim Lindsays there are? That's kind of the point.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
No, but do you not feel like Michael C. Hall almost like he can't be arsed in this? I said it when we were in season 8. I was like, there's almost an element that Michael C. Hall's fed up with the role.
But here, maybe he's not. Maybe he's trying to not play Dexter Morgan. Maybe
that's true.
Is it the case that by maybe the further we get into this, the more you see Dexter Morgan coming out?
I fucking hope so, because it needs it.
But at the moment, it does feel like we've got Jim Lindsay, not Dexter Morgan.
Also, there's no Batista yet. There's no one else for the original show. Hannah's dead, which, I mean, is she? Well, I guess we could talk about it later.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much confirmed that she's dead.
Till you see a body, brother. But I think Harry is like the unsung hero of Dexter.
Yeah, Harry Morgan's great, can't deny it.
James Remar.
Right, then we get Harrison goes to sleep, then we get like this banging noise, and it turns out it's Deborah. She's banging on the window with the bullet, and she just calls Dexter, "You're a sick psycho fuck, you're gonna, even if you don't kill him, you're gonna ruin his fucking life, and you're selfish, you're this, you're that," and then she gets the bullet and shoves it into Dexter's mouth, kind of thing.
Weird. Like poking around his mouth and his eyes.
Just a bit weird. We then see a girl that is inside some like hotel room. It turns out this is Lily, the one that needed money, and Angela helped her last time out. I didn't know it was her, but I
didn't know it was her, but I remember who it is.
So it turns out it is her, and we see her like in a hotel room where she is like sipping on champagne, eating strawberries, but there's like a camera in the room and someone's watching her, so don't quite know what we're going with here, but let's just wrap this up. We got this scene like multiple times, but the more we've seen her, it's like she seemed to be getting like sicker or something, or lethargic. So I don't know if her alcohol or drinks were tampered with, possibly, but is she trapped? But initially she doesn't look trapped. It looks like she's just enjoying like a luxury hotel room.
So is he put her in a hotel room? Or I think it's his own like room that's cosplaying as a hotel. But then you're right.
Or is this somebody that she's met she doesn't look like she's aware she's been filmed?
Yeah. It was too late.
I mean, could this be like someone that works at a hotel or something like that, or I don't know, like a lodge owner or something? Not too sure, but we see her. She seems to be getting sicker and slower as the episode continues. But it doesn't appear she's trapped or anything, and we don't see anyone enter the room, so yeah, I don't really know what's happening with Lily, but there you go.
And you're right, it's like, do we need to see like 4 or 5 different scenes of this? I think 1 or 2 would have done.
Well, I think probably 2, because then you get the one where she's fine and the one where she's not fine, but
5 was overkill.
Yeah, alright, next morning, Dexter wakes up, him and Harrison go out, he sees a bit of blood and he's on the snow, he's like, oh shit, I obviously didn't do a good job of that, although maybe he's a bit rusty because it has been a while since he killed someone. Angela rocks up with all the police, and this is probably the last thing Dexter needs, especially if he did not cover his tracks. But it turns out they're here because Matt Caldwell has went missing, and they want to use Dexter's cabin as like the the spot. You know, they're going to use that as base, and all the people, the residents of Iron Lake, are going to go looking for Matt Caldwell. She finds out that Dexter, or should we say Jim, has a son. She's not too pleased about it because Jim Lindsay never told her, despite Angela telling Jim some of her secrets. I don't mind Angela, I think she seems alright.
I agree, but let's be real, if the genders were flipped here, the man would have to be understanding and be like, oh, that's alright, you had a kid.
Nah, man, I think... What is it? Well, I don't know. I mean, she's told Dexter a lot of things. Like, I don't think you can always go down that route. Like, you know,
I'll go down that route as much as I want, bro.
Well, Dexter's a secretive guy. He just doesn't really tell people anything.
He doesn't. But see,
hold on. If Dexter has basically, you know, abandoned his son for like a decade, who's got the heart? Who's been more hard done by here, Harrison or Angela?
Harrison every day of the week.
You know what I mean? So, but you could almost make the case that if Dexter was willing to abandon his son, then why should he really bring it up? Because as far as Dexter's aware, that part of his life's gone. It's not like Harrison's a secret son that he's got that he keeps in, that he meets up with.
Although I think he did allude to that with her, because she said something like, oh, there's nothing worse than a parent that would abandon their own kid. But
awkward.
Yeah, awkward, but obviously she wasn't really referring to him, she was talking about how she adopted her.
Yeah, they have a sit down later and we find out that her daughter is not actually her biological daughter. I don't know if that makes a bit of sense, to be honest, because her daughter's annoying as fuck.
Well, her daughter's white.
I think her
and she's like Native American, so that makes sense to me.
Now, we did get introduced to some other Native American characters. We had Palo, who we know from
Mayan killed 9 of my
Mayan MMZ. So I'm wondering,
Mr.
like,
Krabs killed my fucking men.
yeah, he alluded to the fact that when one of theirs goes missing, the whole town isn't searching for them. I wonder if Angela did have a daughter that died or something. Is it possible?
I think it was her sister.
Her sister that died?
Because her daughter referenced that. It's like,
I'm not her.
I'm not fucking whatever. Again, in front of everyone, dickhead move.
Yeah, true, to be honest. Due to the age, Angela's not even that old, so then, therefore she had a daughter that was her age. Yeah, so it probably was a sister. But either way, they all go looking. Dexter has managed to, you know, obviously set this up. Glove. Yeah, he set it up so that it looks like Matt Caldwell made his way to the road and managed to hitchhike out of there. And he got the gay couple. They fit. Oh, look, I found a glove.
Even the way he waves the glove, it was almost like an excuse to get the wee gay wrists up.
Yeah, we have they've got a couple of the cops that are in Angela's squad. You know, one guy just seems like, man, competent, a bit boring, a bit serious, and the other guy just seems like, how the fuck did he get this job? Although he has only been a cop for like a week, so.
Look at the way Isaac Serco was gay and his wee boyfriend, right? And then look at the way these two are gay. The difference is fucking massive.
Like, yeah, no, yeah. I mean, you would never knew Isaac was gay until that storyline opened up. Like,
yeah, there's a reason you got that in 2012 and you get this in 2021.
Yeah, like why can't you?
And it's not just luck.
Why can't you just have someone being gay but without acting like an absolute fruit?
Yeah,
why can't we get that?
I know, because the straight people
I get no, but there you go. Again, it almost seems like in this case, it's like being gay is their entire personality.
Yep.
It's not a sexual preference; it's being their entire personality.
Yep. No, absolutely.
Being gay wasn't. I wasn't who Isaac was.
And how many straight people make it their entire personality? I mean, I'd say fucking none.
Anyway, bit strange, but they all go looking. We get Harrison. He goes off with the kids, Angela's daughter and all their friends, and they search through his bag and they break into this little cabin.
He's a fucking weirdo.
They're doing weed and all this shit.
They like wrestling as well, but not pro wrestling. Well, actually,
no, it's amateur wrestling. Olympic wrestling.
Although I've always said this is like this is actual professional wrestling.
Yeah. So you know they're getting high and all that stuff. So I mean they're into. Oh, we don't like that big rich guy, but we're wasters, man. We smoke the weed.
I actually
just not a fan of these characters at all. After Dexter has an argument with Angela as well. We've seen him jump in his truck, or what is it? He's got a truck or a wagon or something like that. And then we've seen like I don't know what it was.
Like an ATV.
But we've seen one of the. I don't think it was one of them, but we've seen one of the girls like looking. Dexter's fucking losing it.
Yeah, it was his blue truck that Dexter rocked up to New York.
Then he looks up and sees that someone's onto him, and he's like, haha, gives him the thumbs up like a peace sign or something. It was a bit funny, but aye, peace. But we got that. We found that we seen that Matt Caldwell has been basically left underneath. It looks like Dexter's cabin. I think. I don't know if he's been cut up yet. Possibly not.
He did look cut up.
Did he? So it's just
there's no human way that body looked normal. Positions, man.
So yeah, I'm assuming maybe he's in a bunch of bags, and Dexter still needs to get rid of him.
And that was pretty much the end of the episode.
Yeah, we then got Matt Caldwell's father turning up. I think his name's Kurt. Is it Kurt Caldwell?
Kurt Angle. Yep.
So Kurt
voiced by Mr. Krabs, and I've probably watched more SpongeBob than you back in the day, but I can't unhear Mr. Krabs in this guy.
I don't really hear it in him. I'll be completely honest.
No, I mean, like, it's like every third word. I mean, SpongeBob, me boy.
So he's
I can't take it serious.
Angela's ready to call off the search because she thinks that Matt's got out of here. Matt's away, but he's like, "Oh, you can't do it, my son. We gotta look for him. He could be out there, cold. He might not make it through the night." So she agrees to put the search back on, and Kurt's like thanking everybody, and he's thanking Dexter, and he's like, "Oh, is this one yours?" And Jim even, and yeah, I mean Kurt Caldwell wouldn't be too happy if he knew what Jim had done to his son. But that's pretty much how the episode ends then, with the search continuing, and then
pans to the dead body underneath them, and then you get the down, ending. Good night. I mean, it was an alright episode, but it's just,
you know what?
I
think we'll put it up for a poll if there's not a poll up already, but see Matt, right? He did seem like a dick, didn't he? He did seem like your total high school.
Yeah.
But did he really deserve to die?
Why did Dexter kill him? Because he was like rapey though, wasn't he? Is that why he killed him?
No, it was because he. The final nail in the coffin was he shot that buck, and Dexter was pretty close to it, and Dexter thought that was too close for comfort. But it was because he was in a crash.
Oh, and he blamed it on that.
But it was an accident, kind of. You know what I mean? Now he was drinking.
Although we've seen Dexter kill people for that before, haven't we?
Yeah, no, but I always thought some of them were a bit harsh. I do think Dexter's killed some people that I'd say are, you know, on I'd say are maybe just debatable.
Fuck it, man. When you're a killer, I think this guy's fair. This guy. Well, put it this way.
I think his friend says that he was playing, you know, a game. Well, I've never played it but apparently you just
Hitman.
No, like when you're driving on the road and
chicken.
You'll drive in front of someone. You're going
to do that, like,
because you're basically forcing them to pull over.
I did it on a boat. It was a boat.
And they didn't pull over, and so that's why But again, it's not like this guy was an absolute cold-blooded fucking killer. But
see, I think
he's pretty cold now. Although he's under the fire pit, so who knows? Maybe warm.
Still cold enough, but again, not to go back to it, but let's say. This guy was called.
But this wasn't a planned kill.
Let's say he was called Maria Caldwell and he was a woman. Would Dexter have killed him? Probably not.
I mean, I don't know, but I don't think Dexter tried to kill him.
Nah, he poked him in the face with a gun.
That's kind of like
hit his head off the rock.
Fuck! I've done it now.
Yeah.
I'd say if Dexter wasn't a killer. Wow, that's easier. Well, no shit. But, you know, normal. I mean, I think if Dexter hadn't killed before, they'd probably phoned the ambulance and went, "Oh, fuck, I've hit this guy with a gun, I've knocked him out." But, you know, it's probably just too tempting. Dexter's like, "Nah, you know what, this guy's an absolute prick. I'm just going to take him out." But anyway, now his father's turned up and we'll see what he's got to offer. But that was it, guys.
What do you think he runs? The Kirsty Crab?
Maybe. That was it for Storm of Fuck. 8 episodes to go.
I need Deborah to reel it in. I need her to get better.
Yeah, you know what? This episode, it was all right. But it was just all right. I can't remember what I gave the premiere. I might have gave the premiere an 8 or a 7.
I'm giving this a 6.
Yeah, I'm giving this a 6 as well. I thought it was a wee bit. No,
I've got a sneaky feeling, by the way, this won't even be the worst episode. Yeah, hope I'm wrong.
Well, I don't think it was a bad episode. It wasn't great. I'll get a 6. A 6 is decent.
It's like I think. I mean, you look at Resurrection. If you feel like Resurrection was hitting episodes at the park every other episode, I don't think this has got it in it.
I think this episode might have a couple of great ones in it.
No, obviously we do have Batista to come, and I think Angel Batista, even though we watched it completely out of sync.
I want to get your hopes up. I think he plays a very small part in this. And by small part, I mean maybe like a cameo appearance.
I've seen him in a few wee clips. I've seen him talking to Angela.
We'll see, but I'm not expecting him to be anywhere near the presence he had in Resurrection.
Oh no, fuck no.
Anyway, guys, that's it. We'll catch you in the next one. 6 out of 10. Till then, peace. 2 episodes down, it is now time for number 3, but will it be third time lucky for Dexter New Blood? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. What do I mean by third time lucky? Well, I'll tell you what I mean. I think the first 2 episodes were okay. I think they were pretty decent. I enjoyed them to a certain degree, but they're not quite hitting the heights that we've seen Dexter deliver, especially when you look at Prime Dexter, you look at first 2 seasons, you look at season 4. They're my favourite 3, they're my top 3. I have to imagine that they're most people's top 3. You can debate which order, but I think they're the best episodes. I think they're the best seasons. And for me, Dexter New Blood just feels like a million miles away from that. I think New Blood's been pretty good. This is season 1, episode 3. It's called Smoke Signals, but it's not quite giving me the signals of season 1, 2 and 4.
Absolutely not. I've always said this, when shows come back after a hiatus or just a break or, hell, a conclusive ending, it helps to watch it when it first comes out. This is 4 years old, and we watched Resurrection before this, which obviously makes it makes the viewing pleasure that bit worse. But for me, the show just never gets out of first gear. It's a complete and utter 180 from Miami. It's jackets, it's gloves, it's hats, it's snow, and it feels like all the flamboyant and exciting characters were left in fucking Miami as well.
It feels like a different show, and we don't even have Dexter Morgan, we've got Jim Lindsay.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and Deborah, who I thought was being very, very fucking annoying.
She was better in this episode.
She was, but
she was okay in episode. It was just episode 2, I think.
She's been replaced.
Replaced?
Aye, by Angela's daughter. Is the most annoying CONT.
Yeah, well, we have a new.
We've got beef. I've got beef.
We've got a definitely.
See the beef that fucking Kurt Caldwell sticks in his Krabby Patties? That's what I've got.
Yeah, but if we're comparing, I mean, is Dexter, aka Jim Lindsay, better in New Blood than he was in the original? Absolutely not. Is Deborah better than this than she was in the original? Absolutely not. Is Harrison better than this? Well, I mean, in the original he was like a fucking baby, wasn't he? So, not really going to comment too much on him, but...
I've seen people say, like, he's awful in New Blood, but he was very good in Resurrection.
I'm seeing the same kind of...
Yeah,
maybe he's slightly better in Resurrection, but then again, you know what, we're only 3 episodes in, guys, so who knows, maybe by the time we get to the finale and we wrap this shit up, we'll be wishing that Dexter wrapped his son up in some plastic and
he
chucked
does
him.
Keep on making remarks about, I always had to feed myself, I always had to change myself, I always had to do this myself. You know what, I get it, Harrison.
Yeah, but he's hanging around with a woke bitch, so that's probably going to make him more infuriating than anything else would. But we continue the search then in this episode for Matt. We've got Dexter there, we've got Kurt there. Kurt's there because he's Matt's father. Dexter's there because, I mean, I guess Dexter has to be there. He killed him, damn it, so he's kind of got to be in the middle of it. We get introduced to a new character who goes by the name of Damien Church. Now, I guess he's pretty similar to Dexter's old position. He's a blood guy, and he comes in and, you know, initially you see him get out the fan and he's very clumsy, he's dropping things. Dexter asks him, do you need a hand? And Dexter's looking at this guy thinking, I have hit the jackpot. This guy does not know what he's doing. This guy's like... I mean, I was going to say Masuka, but Masuka wasn't bad at his job, but Masuka's just he was a creep, damn it. But, you know, this guy looks like he is fucking clueless. But then he gets out to the field, then he gets onto the crime scene, and he actually knows his shit. And basically, Dexter, everything that Dexter doesn't want him to say, he says, and I think it was one of the better scenes of the episode.
No, it absolutely was, and I mean, like you said, first impressions here, this guy appears to be incompetent, but when he actually gets on the crime scene, he turns into, dare I say, prime Dexter Morgan. But it just shows you, without Michael C. Hall, we could have had this guy 20 years ago. Thank fuck we didn't.
No, and he basically determines that there's another guy there. There's foul play going on here. Kurt's not happy because he blamed Angela. He said that she just assumed that his son was committing a crime, and that she was willing to call off the search for Matt, when in reality it looks like somebody could have hurt Matt, somebody could have done something to Matt. So
I think ridiculous that she was willing to call it off because they found a fucking glove. Here, with a missing body, or missing person, sorry, and we find a glove, so we're going to call it off. See,
nah, but I mean, if you put two and two together, the fact that the deer was shot and then there was a glove that looked like it belonged to Matt that was heading to the highway, it did look like the guy had escaped.
Yes, but I think she was right to actually call herself out here in this episode, because, yeah, it looks like he had escaped, but if Kurt Caldwell never pushed to reopen things, none of this would even be happening. Dexter would be sitting in the cabin, rubbing his hands together, drinking a nice wee cup of hot cocoa.
But he's not doing that because he finds out there's going to be search dogs there tomorrow, and that means that he needs to change that. He needs to mix up that crime scene. He needs to get the scent going away from his house and going somewhere else. So we see him staying up that night, and he gets like this jacket, and he tries to spread the scent and the blood of Matt, and he tries to direct it towards the highway where the glove was, because he believes if he does that, then the glove's at the highway, the scent's at the highway, and if the dogs go to the highway, then it means he's probably going to be okay. Whereas if the dogs lead the scent towards his cabin, then he's probably going to be fucked. We also see in high school, Harrison Morgan, he settles in, he does an exam, passes it in 15 minutes, highest score of all time. Teachers basically accuse him of cheating. Dexter just doesn't really care, we've got to be honest here. He doesn't give a shit whether his son cheated or not.
He goes whatever side of the conversation he thinks he's winning. But obviously Harrison didn't cheat, but again, this is on the school for me, right? As someone who went to school not too long ago, fucking 8 years ago, see, any time there was an exam, everyone handed their phones in. Why is it not the same here?
I don't know.
It just avoids all of this.
Maybe in, what's this place called?
Iron Lake.
Maybe in Iron Lake, maybe they think everyone's honourable, and maybe they think all the students are Ned Stark and they're not going to cheat. But anyway, Harrison...
They don't accuse him then?
Harrison redoes the test, and he passes it with no phone. I'm assuming he had
as well.
I'm assuming he had no phone when he repassed the test. Anyway, we see some kid, Ethan, getting bullied by the cool crew or whatnot. So
the jocks.
Harrison kind of sticks up for him. He tells Ethan that, you know what, that online girlfriend that you've got's not real. They've made her up. And then we see Ethan respond with like an image of one of the kids. I don't even remember his name, but we see him like fucking a goat. He comes to beat him up, and I think it's Ethan. No, Ethan's the one getting bullied, isn't he? I forget what the other kids are called. Harrison's former friends.
Jock 1, Jock 2.
That's we'll go with that. Harrison grabs him by the throat and puts a bit of pressure on, as if he's choking him out, and then the guy backs off, and then we see Harrison almost befriending Ethan, who turns out to be a bit of a painter. He draws, and we see him drawing some images of where he's wishing like all the kids dead, and we've got him as like the Punisher. Could Ethan be somebody that potentially lands in Dexter Morgan, or should I say Jim Lindsay's sights, or is Ethan nothing more than just a...
I think he's a school shooter in the waiting.
You think so?
If this guy had access to... a hunting rifle's not the weapon you'd want to use in a school shooter.
Well, according to Jim, everyone in this town's got a hunting rifle.
Aye.
Everyone's got a 700 caliber or whatever it is.
It was a Remington.
I don't know. I don't
700.
know. I'm not a Yank, man. I don't know my rifles.
Yeah, I don't know my rifles, but here, either or, this kid's pretty deranged, but like, it was almost like Harrison wasn't really aware of this, though. He was like kind of smiling, like you're drawing these wee nice pictures.
Yeah, Audrey sees Harrison stick up to... Well, I mean, it's not like she doesn't like them either. They're her friends, and she hangs about with them, and she's actually dating one of them, so she offers Harrison a lift home. They discuss what were you doing there? It's like, you're learning a few things in the foster home. So she says that, this is what it's like being from a small town, almost saying here, yeah, those guys are assholes, and I hang around with them, but I only hang around with him because we're from a small town, and that's kind of what you have to do. Well,
Why don't you like the billionaire then?
Yeah.
Small town, all stick together.
Ethan's from a small town. He doesn't hang around with them. You know, I think this is just weak. This is like making excuses. Oh, they're pieces of shit, but we're in a small town, so therefore I need to be not
No,
really.
hold on, right? Yo, there's literally some schools, right, that have, like, some year groups have got, like, 3 pupils. This school looked like it had a decent enough amount of people in it. See this whole, oh no, I have to be friends with them. Find other friends. If you... No, I think someone's character's defined by consistency. See when you're up and down like this character?
A yo-yo.
Yeah, like a fucking yo. Like, how can you be so focal? Oh, that deer. Oh, the poor wee deer that's being held for a crime scene that's actually way more important than, you know, it's humane rights, even though it's a fucking animal at the end of the day.
Thank God, human rights.
What about Ethan's rights? Well, it's alright for him to get the piss ripped out of him for a decade because it's a small town.
Yeah.
I've got no other friends.
Yeah, she explains the fact that her father's dead and she now plays his guitar, and Harrison finds out that Angela's not her birth mother, but you know what, I'm sure he can relate to that because, you know, Hannah wasn't his birth mother, but he did live with her in Argentina for a while. I mean, he claims it was like not too long, but it was like pretty much more than half his adult life, wasn't it? So yeah, I mean, it was a long time. So he tried to explain to the schools if he'd only been in Argentina for like a holiday.
And also, you think Dexter and Harrison would have come with a game plan to that school meeting all over the place.
Do you think Jim Lindsay cares?
No, he doesn't though, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I know. As great as Dexter is, as great as Jim is, like he has got the emotions of a fucking rock, isn't he? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and not Dwayne Johnson. Then her car, the belt or something explodes or burns or goes on fire. She pulls over. Oh, my mum taught me all this shit. So Harrison just disappears. I don't know what he was doing, looking for help or something. We then get Edward Olsen, who arrives. He pulls up behind. He's the billionaire of Iron Lake. He offers help. She doesn't want it. He offers her a lift. He offers her a chance to sit in his car until somebody comes to help, and she basically just says, if you really want to help, then stop polluting and start caring about the world and stop destroying it. Basically, fuck it, you're fucking killing, like, all this, like, woke
You're holding back science, environmental science.
all this, like, woke bullshit. And then Edward Olsen kind of just goes, well, you know what? You could argue that you're doing that with your diesel car here that's, you know, polluting fumes into drives. I don't know, he probably drives a electric. And then he kind of just, like, walks off. And, you know what? This guy's right here. Very hypocritical, isn't it?
This is what I mean about consistency, right? See if you believe in something and you have certain beliefs, then you can't break those beliefs.
Yeah, and then we get Harrison. He turns up and he asks, what was that all about? And Audrey just says, oh, just a billionaire being a billionaire. And it's like, no, it was Edward Olsen trying to be a nice guy, offering help and offering you, you know, to sit in his car and stay warm, and or even offer you a ride. It's not like he got out and started
flaunting his money.
Oh, look, my car wouldn't break down because I'm a billionaire. Oh, I'm nice and warm in this jacket and you're cold because I'm a billionaire. Like, fuck off with that bullshit. I mean, that's...
Well, she could have just said, no thank you, my friend will be back soon, so I don't need to sit in your car.
Yeah, just an absolute C-U-N-T. Right,
Like, me and you can see it, right? But surely, the average viewer must look at this and think, here, the billionaire guy's not in the wrong.
Yeah, listen, I don't know if this Audrey character's supposed to not be likeable, but see if they're actually trying to portray her as like a nice person, a likeable character that could potentially be like a love romance for Harrison. They're doing a really fucking bad job of it. You're sitting here thinking Harrison should just stay far away from her.
See, this is the problem for me. It's all about consistency. If you're somebody that watches this show that's very much into your climate change and that kind of shit, I feel like no matter what, you're just going to side with this Audrey person over this guy in this scene, because that's just the way it's been designed by default. Well, someone who's actually got, you know, a good moral compass, even if you aligned yourself with climate change, you would be able to see here that in this scene, she was the arsehole, not him.
It's a load of shit.
But some people are clouded by their own shitey judgments.
Yeah, then we seen Lily. I wouldn't say she escaped from her the basement or the apartment or whatever she was in, but we see her manage. She gets out, like the door opens, she runs. We see some guy put like a white ski mask on. He gets this sort of rifle that's got a scope.
Well,
It's also got like
guy. It was quite obvious. It was Kurt Caldwell here with his eyes.
you convinced? I don't know. 100.
Yep, 110. It was him.
100%.
It was him.
Well, that's alright then. We see Kurt Caldwood and he pulls out this gun and he kills Lily. I just don't really understand why this didn't happen last episode. I mean, maybe I guess if you're right, then they want to keep... But why are they having the guy wear a mask if it's so obvious? You know, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
Is he trying to make it look like his son's death? Like, oh, look, he got into a confrontation with a shooter. And is this his, like, version of getting revenge? Weird I don't know. Something's going on here. Because it's very close to the way Caldwell kind of went out.
So you...
Similar. Not similar in a way.
So you think this was Kurt? I didn't necessarily see that, to be fair, but...
But he was hunting her, essentially what it was. That's the way I fuse it. He had the hunting gear on, the hunting rifle out, he made her run. It was kind of like she was the white buck in the situation, or maybe Matt. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking
I wouldn't say that, man. The guy was standing at the front door and took a shot. He wasn't really hunting, was he? Hunting
He was clearly like playing a game.
Yeah, but we also said...
If he wanted to kill her, he did not need to dress up in full hunting attire. He could have just walked in there and killed her. Maybe this is what he normally does. I don't know. Maybe this is his ritual. Maybe this is his gimmick. Maybe this is his table.
We also seen this Instagrammer, social media podcaster, Molly Park, who appeared. Don't really know what she's doing there, but she's there. Dexter then, after not taking Deborah's advice of putting the body parts in a wood chipper, he decides to set Matt Caldwell on fire. Basically, he drains the blood, then he puts him into this big like furnace, and we then see Dexter with Kurt Caldwood later that night. Kurt Caldwood's drunk, he's celebrating, he says that his son has seen him, he's seen his son, he's heard his voice, he's seen his face. They spoke on FaceTime. He asked Jim Lindsay, would you believe it? And Jim's like, no, I wouldn't, because Jim knows the truth. Jim knows that can't be possible because he killed Matt Caldwell, so what the fuck is Kurt talking about here? And we then see Jim offer Kurt a lift home because Kurt was going to jump in his car and drive home himself, even though he's obviously drunk, but doesn't seem like drunk driving. Yeah, I mean, Matt probably did that as well, so yeah, not really.
Runs in the family, and also his ashes for the chimney were going all over town here.
Yeah, and
Dexter said that's the closest he's probably ever been to his son.
Yeah, because some of the ashes were landing on Kurt, which was, is what it is there. We also, then we got Audrey. She convinced that they had a dinner. They convinced the white buck to get a ritual kind of ceremony thing, and it's like then you got all like the Native Americans burning this white buck, and it's like what an overrated culture. I've always felt like the Native Americans like one of the most overrated.
I like El Palo, but yeah.
No, I mean I like the guy in Mayans, like, but I mean just in terms of them standing watching a deer burn, it's like who cares? Who fucking cares?
No, absolutely, and then it's like she just barged into the back room of that butcher's, like fucking. You can't do that, man.
Yeah, Coach Logan, who has come across as a pretty serious guy, I think, up until this episode. We also seen him grill Dexter, or should I say Jim Lindsay. He was grilling him for information since he was basically taking reports from everybody about when was the last time they seen Matt. He acts very serious, but then whenever he talks about wrestling, he gets very like giddyish, and it's like very weird. I don't know. This guy must
nothing gets boys together when they're on the mat.
This guy must have like a fascination with wrestling because he comes across as really fucking serious, but then when he talks about wrestling and amateur wrestling and mat wrestling, he turns into like a kid. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that was it. That was the end of the episode. You know what? I mean, was it the best episode so far? I mean,
I'll give it a 7.
I think it probably was.
I think we're beginning to get a structure, and I like that about a season where early on I can see the foundations.
I'm going to get a 7 out of 10 as well. I think the last two episodes we both gave a 6. I think this one was slightly better, but yeah, I know it. It's just Audrey's just very fucking annoying. Don't like the character, and yeah, maybe we're not supposed to.
Very flawed.
Yeah, we'll see
I
what
guess humans are flawed. Some of them.
We'll see what happens going forward. Anyway, guys, that is it. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, 7 out of 10. Peace. H is for hero, but K is for killer, and is Harrison a killer just like his father Dexter? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, and that is what we kinda found out this episode. Harrison so far has been the good guy. He's been the hero. Last time out we seen him save the school. Or was that this time? I can't remember.
Was this time, big man?
This time.
Because Dexter got rushed to the hospital to catch Harrison, who he thought was in a serious accident, but it turns out it was Ethan had his leg slashed just like Rita. Just like what Trinity did.
Now, Ethan wasn't found in a bathtub, so it's not exactly completing the Trinity kill, but either way, it would have been a little bit concerning, I think, if Harrison dragged Ethan.
And one looks better than the other.
Yeah, it would have been a wee bit concerning if Harrison dragged Ethan into the bathtub, but knowing how woke Dexter New Blood's been so far, I wouldn't have been surprised.
There's a reason why Trinity was bludgeoning like middle-aged men to death and getting in the bath with women.
But in New Blood, it would probably be the opposite.
Aye.
See the 40-year-old fathers, he'd be hugging them in the bathtub.
Imagine him in Dexter season 4 trying to piece together the fucking. Why is he jumping into the bath with 50-year-old men?
Don't work for me, brother. But yeah, so they go to school. Dexter, I mean, we've got Deborah who's still getting on Dexter's case, thinking that Kurt just wants this case to be closed because he thinks that Johnny Bullhorn killed his son Matt, then he's going to kill Johnny once the case is closed and all eyes are off him. In reality, Deborah blames one man, and that is Dexter, because he's the guy that killed Matt. Now, you know, we can sit here and discuss whether or not Matt fitted the code and whether he deserved to be killed, but here, Dexter's done it at this point, so there's no point. You know, there's no point going on about it, but he does almost let slip that he might be willing to do it again. And Deborah again calls him out on this, saying that he'll never really change. Kurt goes to the police station. Everybody's giving him a big hug as if he's achieved something, when in reality, all that's happened is he's let them know that his son is alive. Now, we know his son's dead, but Kurt's claiming that he spoke to his son. Kurt's claiming that Matt FaceTimed him. And Angela wants to get in communication with him, but Kurt says, well, you know, he asked me for money, he does this, I'll probably not hear from him for another like 3 months. So
no, see this, man, this ain't tangible evidence. Like, considering that he's committed a crime, they would want proof of this. Yo, you can literally open your phone, go onto FaceTime and see like proof if there was like a phone call and someone answered.
Yeah, I get it. They've got to assume that the father is desperate to find his son, and it's not something he would lie about, because lying about this would hamper the chances of finding him. But police need to cover everything. They need to look at the possibility. Well, what if Kurt was the one that killed his son? Wouldn't he try and play it off as if his son's still alive? So I'm surprised Angela kind of just bought this, and she was like, right, well, when Matt gets in contact with you, you tell him I gotta speak to him. But we both know that's not going to happen.
No, Matt there's been no contact with Matt. I can guarantee you that. But again, why is he went down this road? Why is Kurt Caldwell went down this road of pretending Matt's alive?
Yeah, we then see Dexter pumping some gas, and we've got Kurt talking to some girl with green hair. Just seems typical this show would have a female with green hair, doesn't it?
Just give me 80 more bucks so I can get a bus ride home. Boring. No. No, Mr. Krabs then offers her a job at the Krusty Krab.
And she doesn't want that. She throws in his face, oh, I'm a millennium, I don't want to work. I want free money.
No, see this, so it's like, how about you just shut the fuck up, I mean, and take the job that the guy's offering you? I mean, yo, I'm not, see Kurt Caldwell, is he even saying here, I want you to work full time? Maybe he was simply just saying here, so instead of me giving you $80...
Why don't you do a shift tonight and all that?
Yeah, which I think is more than fair enough.
Do a shift at the Krusty Krab.
Krusty Krab pizza and then
right, we then get Harrison at school. He's sitting alone. He's listening to he's listening to Molly Park's podcast, and she's discussing the Trinity Killer case, and she talks about the kid, the baby that was found in a pool of his mother's blood, and she talks about how this kid must be fucked up, must be messed up after that incident. And I guess maybe he is messed up, because then Dexter gets a phone call from the school. It turns out that Harrison has been in an incident, and it was a big warning. It was like one of those phone warnings where it kind of.
See, I think it's just the norm in America.
Yeah.
It's like, school shooting. Well, it was going to be a school shooting.
Yeah, so they get there, and Harrison is the hero, supposedly. He stopped Ethan from killing everybody. Ethan had a kill list, and Harrison supposedly stopped him by stabbing him in the leg. But Dexter looks at the evidence. He looks at we got to keep in mind, he has a former blood splatterist. People don't know this about Jim Lindsay, but he used to do this for a living, so
yeah,
he knows his stuff.
He used to be, full-time, it was part-time blood analyst, full-time serial killer. On this show, he's just a bit full-time boring bastard, isn't he? He's not really cutting the mustard for me.
Yeah, he doesn't really believe. He kind of questions Harrison, what happened. He doesn't think he thinks the blood lies, because Dexter always says the blood tells the truth, so he's not really believing.
See this show so far. Now we know season 2 has been cancelled of New Blood, and they've resurrected Dexter.
I'm thinking we're almost halfway through, like, and not a lot's happened.
What it feels like to me is that they got Michael C. Hall back to groom Harrison as the next lead and kill him off, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, possibly.
That's what it feels like. Yes, Dexter killed Big Matt, but it feels like Harrison is the one. To me, without knowing what happens at the end of this season, it feels like Harrison was always going to kill Dexter. The way this is built, it feels like it.
No, definitely. Now, Deborah scalds Dexter. She claims that he's just upset that his son's perfectly fine. His son's normal. His son's not a freak killer like he is. But that's not really what Dexter's annoyed about. I think it's the opposite. I think Dexter's upset that his son is just like him.
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't want it. Jim Lindsay just wants him to be Harrison Lindsay. Doesn't want him to be a Morgan.
Yeah, we then see Harrison go to the hospital to check on Ethan, and Ethan's parents are blaming Harrison. They're
well,
threatening
the dad
him.
was alright, to be fair, to a degree.
Yeah, and then at the end he says, "We never want to see you again." And it's like, you know what? I mean, from what we know so far, like, Harrison's done nothing wrong here.
Yeah. The mother's
It's not Harrison's fault that their son was...
The mother's like, oh, you could have came to us before stabbing him or whatever. Or it's like, hold on here.
They barely... I mean, Harrison literally just befriended this guy. I highly doubt he's on great terms with Ethan's parents. Probably never met them before.
Yes, but also context, look at this, right? How is Harrison supposed to get to his parents before this, like, shooting happened? You cannot let this guy decide.
No, I think they mean... in general, if you knew he was having problems, obviously they don't mean at that at that moment.
I think you need to, no, rewatch it. Fucking rewatch it.
No, I think they're on about, if you knew he was getting bullied, and if you knew he had like this.
Well, how they not? No, it's the talk of the fucking town.
And if you knew,
she's like, the woke bitch is like, oh, hell, we've bullied him for 20 years, but hey, it's a small community. Everyone knows Ethan's a fucking loser. He sits at the table by himself. There's no way his parents can look at him and think he's the fucking the stud of the high school.
Yeah, Dexter then notices the next day that Harrison's eating food the way Dexter eats food. And Dexter's thinking, hold on, if this guy eats like me, maybe he kills like me as well. So Dexter goes back later, and he does a little bit of an investigation with the blood, and he does his own little analysis on it. And much to Deborah's concern, and she doesn't want to admit it, but Dexter then shows that if Ethan was the victim and Harrison was the one that killed him or stabbed him, at least from behind, then the blood would be the way the blood currently is right now. So Dexter then manages to convince Deborah that Ethan was actually the victim and that Harrison was the aggressor. So therefore Harrison's story is absolute bullshit. And perhaps, Harrison is a killer. Did Harrison befriend Ethan because he thought, this guy's an easy target? Or is Ethan... Maybe Ethan was going to do something really bad and Harrison decided to stop him either way. I mean, there's no proof that Harrison just picked on Ethan for no reason.
Well, what I think's happened is that Ethan... I mean, we've seen him last episode, Ethan talking about, like, you did to those guys what I've been dreaming of for a lifetime, man.
Well, we did see him... He basically drew himself as the Punisher as well.
What's happened here for me, right, is that Ethan's wanted to do this, right? But it's perfectly coincided that he's met Harrison at the perfect time where Harrison's found out about the Trinity Killer. He's found out about the way that he killed Rita, and he's went, who can I kill like that? Oh, the guy that's about to do a school shooting. They've linked up perfectly, man. Like two trains running simultaneously beside each other on two tracks, and they've met in the middle, and he's fucking slit his wee leg. His big fat fucking leg.
Yeah, Harrison then gives a speech at the school, and he doesn't really, throw Ethan under the bus. He kind of just says that this isn't really Ethan's fault. Yeah, he was going to do a bad thing, but who drove him to that bad thing? It was all you guys. And then some of the kids give an applause. Audrey gives an applause, even though she was fucking part of the bully group that was bullying Ethan.
Yeah, she's so complicit in it. No, but that's what pisses me off, right? She'll have a go at people that are allegedly complicit. Oh, in climate breaking down. But you're complicit in bullying some fucking fat kid.
But then she's
but how's that work then?
Yeah, and then she's applauding Harrison here as if, Harrison's right. Those guys over there are bullies. The same guys that you hang out with in a group. So that makes you just as bad as him.
See, with climate change, right? The general argument with climate change is, well, I'm just one person. How can we do anything?
Yeah, but
her argument is, well, here, small knit community. I'm just one person. I had to be friends with the majority.
Yeah, even if she never physically touched this Ethan guy, see if she's hanging out with the group, or see if she's the girlfriend of the guy that was like beating up Ethan's, and see if she's standing by and being okay with that and encouraging it and laughing at it, and she's just as bad.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. But out of that group, only a couple of them actually laid their hands on Ethan. It doesn't matter. See, it doesn't matter if there's 12 people and only 2 of them were physically hitting the guy. See if the other 10 are laughing and encouraging it, then they're just as bad. So I don't know why she's standing here applauding Harrison.
I know, like he's some superstar.
How about she actually stand up and apologise and go, yeah, what we done to Ethan was horrible, and we need to take part of the blame?
No, because that would be taking accountability, and for a character like her, they don't do that.
Couldn't even take accountability that she drives this car that, puts a lot more fumes than the electric one does into the...
The emissions are through the roof, brother.
We then see Kurt driving Chloe out to the cabins, the same one that Lily stayed in, so I think we can definitely confirm now, without a shadow of a doubt, that Kurt's the killer. I know you knew this an episode ago, but just in case you were trying to give...
I knew it months ago.
Alright, well, if you're trying to give Kurt the benefit of the doubt, I think this is it.
Oh, the writing's on the wall.
Now, regardless of what you knew,
there is fish meat in the Krabby Patties. It's all over here.
Yeah, so Chloe's probably going to die next episode. We also had Molly Parks, who was... I'm not a reporter, I'm a podcaster. Paper's dead. So I guess that is kind of true these days.
Yeah.
So she wants to help Angela.
She ran into Dexter. It's like, wouldn't she know Dexter? Recognise him for the Trinity Killer case?
Possibly, maybe. Although, I feel like Dexter has tried to distance himself from her, but who knows. And I think he is going with a bit of a different look these days, isn't he?
I've got a feeling that Molly will be the reason why he gets exposed in this show.
Could be. But I think that Molly will get taken out by Kurt.
I think she'll get close to him in some capacity.
So
she seems to notice all these missing girls. I think Angela might let slip to Kurt. Here, this podcaster's done a lot of good work for us. Big Mr. Krabs is going to come over with his fucking pinchers, man, and good night.
Yeah, and then we had Dexter looking through Harrison's things, and he finds a razor blade, and yeah, and I guess this is... it doesn't mean that he's a killer, but it doesn't look good, and you've got Deb sobbing in the background because she realises, my little nephew, he's got the dark passenger in him. So that is it. The dark passenger looks like it's continued on.
He's got the seatbelt on, the airbags are non-existent. It's going to be a bumpy ride for Harrison Morgan.
Anyway, that's it for this episode. What are you giving it?
I will give it I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I feel like it's... I don't think it's bad, but I'm not blown away. I think that's the problem, though, with us watching this after Resurrection. I feel like Resurrection is just a million times better.
Yeah, and I think Original Sin was probably better as well.
No, I absolutely agree. I think they had a chance in a new setting with snow And I think Kirk Caldwell, I think Mr. Krabs is a good actor. And I don't think the cast is particularly awful. I just don't think they're delivering.
I think that's the one thing I actually like about it. It's in a different setting, so it just makes it feel a little bit unique.
Yeah.
I just think if this was happening in Miami, it would be a bit shite. But anyway,
nice.
That's it, guys. 6 out of 10. I agree. 6. Till next time. Peace. 5 episodes down, 5 more to go. We're officially at the halfway point of Dexter New Blood, and I think this franchise certainly needed some new blood, and I can see why they decided to go with Resurrection rather than New Blood Season 2. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. I was looking forward to watching Dexter New Blood. Of course I was. It's Dexter. It's the Dexter franchise. It's Michael C. Hall. I would have been looking forward to New Blood Season 1 or Original Sin Season 1, or if they decided to bring back Dexter, the original, and have a Season 9, of course I would have been looking forward to it, and I've enjoyed it somewhat, but it's not top tier television, is it? I wouldn't even go as far as saying it's great. I think it is decent. I think it's mid. I think there's some good moments, but for me, that's all New Blood's going to be. Dexter, the original, especially like I think I've watched the original about 4 or 5 times at least, if not more. To me, seasons 1, 2, and 4 they've got so much rewatch value. I don't know if I'll be saying the same about New Blood. I mean, I might rewatch it at one point, but I can't imagine me going back and rewatching season 1, the only season of New Blood, over and over and over again, and going, wow, this is one of my favourite seasons of Dexter. Unfortunately, it's probably looking to be the weakest season of all the Dexter franchises. Now, there's still half the season to go. I mean, it could pick up, it could get a lot better, but at this point, unfortunately, it's a decent season and a great franchise, so therefore that's going to make it one of the weaker seasons.
No, absolutely. For me, it is the weakest season so far. No, it's got 5 episodes to redeem it, but you said anything with Michael C. Hall and anything with Dexter Morgan in it, but he's Jim fucking Lindsay at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's it. You're not even getting Dexter Morgan. He's the only person who's acknowledged he's Dexter Morgan is Deborah, and she's like, this is the most annoying version of Deborah we've ever had.
No, absolutely.
And we've no Harry either.
No, you get no Harry, and that's massive, but Harrison's annoying. Pretty much everybody in this town of Iron Lake is annoying, apart from Mr. Krabs to me. I feel like there's ones that are just fucking plain goofy, and there's just ones that are plain woke.
See, when Deborah found out the truth about Dexter, I think she acted personally reasonable.
Yep.
I think, to me, when in season 7, I think she was in the right and Dexter was in the wrong. She felt like the protagonist and he felt like the antagonist, because it just seems like he was trying to downplay everything, and she was rightfully upset and grossed out, and obviously it came as a major shock to her. But I don't know, the way she's getting on in New Blood, this would have made more sense to me if they never buried the hatchet.
Yes.
Now, I get it. I don't think they ever had the same kind of relationship, and I think she was distant from him, but it's not like season 8 of Dexter ended with her like hating Dexter or blaming Dexter for her dying, or still really it wasn't even really at the point where she was disapproving of what he was doing. She'd almost kind of just completely forgot about it and pretended that it didn't exist. But
she died due to him giving the kills up.
Yeah, but now in New Blood, it's almost like she's doubling down, and she's reacting worse to him being a killer in this series more than she ever did in the original. Whether that's right or wrong. Anyway, last time out, Dexter found out that Harrison went on the offensive. He actually cut Ethan. Now, here, that doesn't mean Ethan wasn't... This hasn't been explained yet, and maybe it will, but for all we know, Ethan was planning on still killing everybody and doing a shooting. Maybe Ethan wasn't going to hurt Harrison, but Harrison just decided to react and be proactive and take out Ethan and stop him, rather than allow Ethan to do what he was going to do. Just because...
And there is a difference. Just
because Harrison went on the offensive here, that doesn't necessarily mean he was wrong. What if Ethan was going to do something bad?
No, of course not, and I think the proof's there, but I've got a feeling this is just going to go quiet.
Let's say Ethan said to Harrison, see all those fuckers in the next room, I hate them all, and then he pulls out a gun, and he's walking towards the next room. Harrison doesn't need to actually be attacked by Ethan, in my opinion, to do something.
No.
If something along those lines happened and Harrison acted first and he attacked Ethan to prevent something happening, then that's, in my opinion, that's self-defense, isn't it? You're protecting other people.
Absolutely, but we'd also got the return of Angel Batista.
Yeah, we did. We've seen Angel Batista at some sort of like conference meeting. Angela showed up and she had a little bit of a discussion with Batista. Deborah's name was brought up. Unfortunately, she's dead. And Batista actually name dropped that she had a brother by the name of Dexter. And yeah, this was obviously a bit of a reveal here. We don't. Obviously, Batista doesn't know where Dexter is. He might think Dexter's dead.
He does.
He probably does, because
because he says, "I mourned you with in Resurrection."
yeah, he thinks that Dexter died in the ocean
And
on
he's
the
right
on the slice of life.
What a name! What a name for a book.
I remember Chris Jericho bashed the hell out of that finale. What did you think of it? Since we haven't reviewed it.
Dark is Jericho. Here.
He said
I expected it to be a lot worse.
he said it was the worst ending ever to a show after 8 seasons. Dexter just blows away in a like a tornado, and then turns up at the end in a lumberjack outfit. Bit weird, but yeah, I don't know.
I'll stand by it. Right, I don't think they knew how to end it, and it felt rushed. But it left the door open. I think there's better ways to leave the door open. But for me, Season 8 didn't really deliver as a whole. The brain surgeon killer didn't do it for me.
Oh, Dr. Fogel.
I actually
trying to take all the credit.
I think the correct call for this show, even though I like the fact it's continuing, we've got Resurrection, I think Dexter as a TV show would have been better if it played exactly the same way as it did for 7 seasons, but in Season 8, Dexter's getting hunted by the Miami department and everybody knows who he is. And he's on the run from them. I think if you're ending a show, like, no more, that's the perfect way to do it. But what they've
done that a little bit to it. I mean, in Resurrection, only it was Batista doing a one-man job.
Yeah, but no one knows, you know.
Yeah.
I'm talking like a nationwide manhunt here. Like,
oh, who's to say that can't happen?
Well, that could
in
happen, but
Resurrection?
do you not agree, though, if Season 8 goes down that road and you've got Quinn, like prime Miami PD, not this watered-down OnlyFans joking pish, it would have delivered more for me, but they didn't know what to do. And I think by the end of Season 8, Michael Hall seemed tired. Michael C. Hall.
Yeah, but he definitely seems rejuvenated in Resurrection.
Not so much New Blood, though. I feel like he's... But then that's probably just him playing Jim Lindsay, so I'll give him a break.
I think if Michael C. Hall was ranking the seasons, I think he'd have Season 8 and New Blood pretty low down.
Yes.
Towards the bottom. They're probably the two weakest that we've seen. Definitely. It'd be interesting to see what Michael C. Hall thinks of Original Sin, since he actually wasn't an actor in it. He just did the voice acting. Anyway, right, so you've got Angela and Molly, I believe. They're on the look for Matt. I don't really like this Molly character. I also think it's a bit strange that Angela just decides to leave her day job as as a head detective here.
It makes her look like amateur art here.
Not detective, but what's her title?
Chief
She's
Police.
like Chief Police.
How weak does it make her look that she's tag team with her?
Yeah, some little podcaster. It's just a bit strange. Just don't really like this Molly character. Just very like abrash and up front, and the way she just comes in and I mean, I don't know. Personally, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my office. But nah, they go on a little search here for Matt. They don't find Matt, obviously, because we all know that Matt's dead, but for some reason, Matt's been eating at 5-star restaurants, or at least his credit card has, and they look at the footage and they find out it's some fucking old guy who's definitely not Matt Caldwell. So why was this guy in the room? Who's been paying for this guy? Mr. Krabs, explain yourself. We know Mr. Krabs doesn't like to part with money, but he's happily okay.
Hey, you stole it.
We're putting up this guy in a 5-star restaurant. So why is Kurt... What's Kurt got to gain? Why does he want people to think that Matt's alive and well?
Because he wants the investigation closed so police don't snoop around when he does his fucking killing. Maybe it could be that.
Could be.
I like killing in the snow.
Yeah, so I mean, that pretty much sums up all the Angela stuff, really.
Well, you say that, I mean, she did have like 3 different conversations with Angel Batista.
Yeah, but we kind of summed up the Batista stuff, didn't we?
Well, I mean, to a degree, yeah. I mean, yeah, it was good seeing Batista references to the good old days, but...
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
He's like, what was his son's name? Harrison.
Yeah, listen, I mean, it certainly could pick up if if Batista's going to be in the last 5 episodes, then who knows? Maybe New Blood can make a late push to try and get above season 8. But right now, I think it's still below. We've got Deborah criticising Dexter. Keeps saying you're the one living a lie, Jim. Yeah, we need Dexter Morgan. Jim Lindsay's just not cutting it.
Yeah. So I mean, Harrison, he goes to the kill list party and.
Yeah,
takes ease, drugs
just
out.
Typical shitey student behaviour. He gets saved by the deputy, the coach of the wrestling team, who I thought Dexter, or should I say Jim, was an absolute dick to in this episode.
He was.
You're just a jobber wrestling coach, dude. I'm a dad, a shit one.
Yeah, and this guy might not be a dad, but hell, he fucking seems to care about the kids more than Dexter does. Certainly seems to care more about Harrison. So I don't know why Dexter is, got such an issue with this guy. Right, we then see, so Kurt offers Chloe to stay at his place, his little cabin. She asks him, what do you expect in return? Well, what do you think an older man wants in return from a younger woman? Apparently, according to Kurt, nothing.
Kurt wants nada.
Just pass it on, he says. Now, what's he mean by that? Just be kind to the next person you meet? I want to know why these people are going to Kurt, and we don't really know what happened with the first woman. I think it's fair to assume that, but why is... I'm assuming they know that Kurt is Matt's dad. Are these friends of Matt that know him and they're looking for some help? It just feels, is it not strange that someone would go with some guy, some older guy who's going to let them stay at their house for free, and they wouldn't be like, is there something he wants to me? Like, would you not be suspicious? How are these women ending up?
Also, how's Kurt not getting found out? It feels like every time, like, one of these people go missing, it was like, well, here, I seen him last talking to Kurt. And, like, because he's so known, he would be recognised. And then it's like, his pattern, he plays that Runaway song on the jukebox, obviously, each time he gets, like, a person trapped.
Yeah.
Run away.
So she goes to his apartment, then she realises, oh fuck, I can't get out. Then she realises that there's cameras. She then starts stripping for him. She asks him, is this what you want? But it's not what Mr. Krabs wants, because this makes him angry.
He turns the laptop off.
Yeah, we then see her, she gets like a shard of glass, trying to attack. Kurt storms in. She's ready to stab him, but he says you can go. And she just accepts this, I guess. She gets out, but then Kurt brings this rifle along with him. And he seems to want her to run, but she's refusing to run because I guess she figures out as soon as I run, he's going to shoot me from behind. Although she could have just did a 180 and ran the other way and used the cabin for a bit of cover. And at least she could have got a bit of distance between her and Kurt. But she didn't do that. Instead, she ran at Kurt. And Kurt was like, no, 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 and then he shoots her through the eyeball and she dies and he's upset because this is not the way it's supposed to be.
I'm thinking maybe...
I guess he's got a ritual just like everyone else.
I'm thinking his wife maybe died in like a hunting accident and he must have preserved her body or something, and maybe... Because it's a very weird, precise gimmick that he has to kill a woman while she's running away like he's hunting them.
But all these people not seem to have like rituals.
Yes, but not
all
everyone's
killers.
But not everyone's like precise. Like Dexter's is like, I'm going to kill you because you're a killer. I'll put you on the table and then I'll stab you with the pictures of
and speaking of Dexter New Blood being woke and definitely been signs of this being like the wokest show of them all. I mean, I guess it's the icing on the cake that the main villain is this older white guy who seems to be killing younger women. So I guess that fits in.
He's a bad, bad man.
Would you agree or disagree?
No, of course. I mean, it's weird, but in 2020, I think 2021 was more woke than 2025.
Yeah, it very well could be. So yeah. That's what I actually liked about Resurrection. I actually liked the way with Lady, what was she called?
Vengeance.
Lady Vengeance. They're almost trying to portray it as if she's out there killing bad men or like sex pests and all this stuff. So therefore, it almost makes her a protagonist in a way. But then you find out, nah, she's just a killer, and she'll set people up and she uses that as an excuse, and she's willing to,
bend the rules.
bend the rules, and not the word I was looking for, but you get my point. You know, she's willing to like
Manipulate the law.
yeah. So I actually like the way they done that, but I just don't think you're going to get anything like that in New Blood.
No, but Harrison takes pills, right?
I've already discussed this.
He's in the hospital. All right, then you take it away. Have we mentioned once he was in the hospital? No.
Yeah, no, he passed out, and Dexter and Thingy, the coach guy, had that.
You said he was at him all episode. That wasn't very descriptive, was it? Come on, play the game. In the hospital, Dexter being a dick to him. You're just a wrestling coach. Fuck you. Harrison's attitude fucking stinks for me. He needs to get fucking rid of him,
right.
Dexter. Hit him a big bitch slap.
Dexter then is furious, so I guess he can't. Right, so I don't get it. The friend of Harrison's that gave him the drugs, Dexter doesn't kill him. He then attempts to kill the guy that sold the drugs to Harrison's friend, but because the police arrive and arrest him, he can't kill him, and then he decides that maybe he's not the one he should be killing. So then he decides to go one step further, and he decides to actually kill the guy that is making the drugs, essentially the Heisenberg in this situation. And it's like, yeah, he's bending the rules here. He's never really been known to kill drug dealers in the past. I don't think he has anyway. I mean, I can't really recall Dexter simply killing someone who's a drug dealer.
See, drug dealers, right? Yes, they indirectly kill people because people do die for drugs, but where do you draw the line?
I think they're just as shit as the people that take the drugs. But what I want to know is, why is he killing the guy that's making the drugs? What about the other guy that sold the drugs to Harrison's friend? What about Harrison's friend that gave Harrison the drugs? It just seems like he's picking and choosing here.
Yeah, and I thought, considering he's Jim Lindsay, I know he's already killed this show, but I feel like he needs more of a justified reason here.
I mean, let's say you look at Breaking Bad, for example. See if he's in that, who's he going to kill? Is he going to kill Gus Fring? Or is he going to kill Heisenberg, who's the cook? Or is he going to kill, like, the people that are mulling the drugs? Like, well, I know when they got with Gus, Pete and Badger, they weren't really doing any of that shit, but you know what I mean? Like, where do you draw the line? Like, how can Dexter decide morally who's worthy of meeting the code and who's not?
But both kills this show have been questionable, very, very questionable.
Yeah. No, that's not saying that they're good people or great people, but just based on Dexter's code and his beliefs. I mean, the two people that he has killed in this season, you're right that it's been debatable whether or not. Neither of them have been direct killers, in my opinion.
You're painting a narrative of this guy becoming Jim Lindsay and that he's put that life behind him, you would feel like the people he would have to kill
would have to do something extreme.
Yes, and maybe hurting his son.
Is it possibly shown that he can't change and that he's bending the rules in order to justify killing?
I would say this one was more justified than the Matt Caldwell, because at least you could say here, this is a serial killer that's been enraged because his son almost died. I can accept that. I think that's one.
So this is a personal killing, not a code?
I would say so.
But I don't think Harry would approve of this one.
No, but he's not here. Sadly. Would Deborah approve it?
I don't know. Maybe Dexter could have planted evidence on the guy to get him arrested or something. Either way, Dexter kills him, and that's it. So yeah, that's pretty much all that really happens in this episode.
I mean, he goes to stab him, but then Logan and the crew pull up and he has to give him an overdose, a drug overdose.
Yeah, which is kind of poetic, I guess, that the guy that makes the drugs goes out dying on drugs, but again, it's like, why does this guy deserve to die, but Harrison's friend who gave him the drug doesn't?
Yep, and then
where's the accountability?
No, I know it doesn't make much sense, but Mr. Krabs gives Harrison a job after he's about to skip town. And then the episode ends with Angela finding out for her daughter that Harrison said when he was drugged that Jim isn't really Jim Lindsay. And obviously with that information coinciding with what Angel told her, she prints this thing out, and it turns out it's actually to do with the death of Dexter Morgan, and it looks exactly like Jim.
I know this guy. That ain't Dexter, that's Jim Lindsay.
I'm surprised this has been revealed 5 episodes in, but I'm glad it has, because I feel like this town's been going fucking nowhere.
And I'm surprised it's been revealed to Angela, who is not only Jim Lindsay's partner, but also the head of police. in this little
I
town,
think the proof
Iron
in the
Lake.
pudding that New Blood isn't that good is the fact that in Resurrection they completely dropped all these characters apart from the Goofy guy.
Yeah, and he was only really there, wasn't he, in the opener?
He literally tells Dexter, or no, Batista is like, or no, he either phoned Dexter, he told Batista, he says, "Aye, Angela, she took off, all charges against you have been dropped." And it looked like in the promo packages that recap New Blood that Dexter kills this Logan guy in the prison cell with foot. Like, how the fuck could they even spin that? It's a plot hole to keep him alive, but here it's better than giving it to Harrison.
Yeah, anyway, I will give this episode a 6 out of 10.
I'll get a 6 out of 10 as well. Hopefully the second half's better than the first half.
Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time. Peace. You can have too many tuna sandwiches, but you can never have enough Krabby Patties if you're Clancy Brown. He likes to make his American dollar down under the water, but now he's in boiling water because Dexter Morgan, aka Jim Lindsay, is on to him. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here to review Dexter Episode 6, New Blood. And Clancy Brown, Kurt Caldwell, he wanted a new kill in this episode, but he was prevented by a returning Dexter. Looks like this Jim Lindsay personality needs to be put on the back burner because Mr. Morgan is back in town.
Jim.
Tonight is the night.
Jim certainly won't fix it on this occasion. I'm all about Dex, right? It's Dexter. But I'm a big fan of Clancy Brown. I'm like them in this show. I just think everyone else fucking sucks though, and that's the problem. I feel like if this guy was going up against Prime Miami PD, it would be a lot better than what we're getting here.
Yeah, it's not the greatest cast. I don't think it's the worst cast, but at the same time, I'm not. Harrison doesn't do it for me. None of the officers really do it for me, and I get it. They're all kind of different. Angela, Coach Logan, Officer Terry Reid, but it's not quite Miami Metro, is it?
No. I mean, Iron Lake sounds cool. It does. But when you look at them, it's just a bit crap at the end of the day. I mean, you're saying Terry Reid. Terry Reid sounds good, but he's a bit dead. I mean, there's not much to him. Look, he's a fucking joke. Look at the state of him in Resurrection. He was an absolute tosspot in Resurrection.
Oh, he's hardly a big, masculine, serious man in this, is he? Like, I mean,
no, but I think it just there's no development with the guy, apparently. His entire police force gets wiped out and he's sitting there chuckling away with the sombrero wearing Batista.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, so let's get into the episode then. So we kind of pay homage to like episode 1, the premiere, when Angela pulls over Jim, and then they start to have sex. But this time, when she pulls him over and Dexter's trying to play games, she ain't playing games because she doesn't want the Jim Lindsay license and registration. She wants the Dexter Morgan license and registration. And at this point, he realizes, I'm fucked. His identity has been revealed.
It's all over for me. Again, I'm actually surprised this has been revealed at the halfway point of this show. But I mean, it was going to get revealed at some point. But you feel like Dexter would do a better job of... See how easy it was for Harrison to track him down? And then it's almost like the social media side of things. Like Dexter Morgan just wasn't really aware of it. Now, you could say in between Dexter ending and this show beginning, social media did have a bit of a boom period, so to speak. But... he's been found out by a bunch of amateurs, is my point. The Dexter Morgan I know wouldn't get found out like this.
What do you mean he's been found out by a bunch of amateurs?
Harrison Morgan?
Well, Dexter allowed Harrison Morgan to find him.
He allowed him. Don't talk pish. Harrison found him on his own accord. Then we've got that kill Mary.
Yeah, only...
She's blind, like, she should know who he is.
Again, that's how is that get? She covers all serial. What do you want Dexter to do? Erase all history of the Trinity Killer? Oh, come on! Well, what are you actually talking about? How are you pinning that on him?
I'll pin whatever I want on him.
You're talking absolute shite.
You're entitled to think that.
And then Batista got. What do you want Dexter to do? Kill Batista?
Right, fuck it.
So
Batista to his death.
So Batista can't give away any information or give away his real identity.
He had a son, Harrison. He liked the train sets, brother.
You know what I mean? Come on, here you are. A bunch of amateurs found out his identity. Hardly.
Harrison is an amateur, a fucking loser, might I add. I actually, see Harrison in Resurrection, he's not great, he's not even good, but he's bearable. Seeing this, he's fucking unbearable. Just like all the other kids in his class, especially Angela's daughter, just the absolute nick of them, man.
Yeah, anything else to add, or?
No, but I'm sick of that the narrative though, the way every kid in like modern times just gets played by. It's like they're almost like the exact same personality, all rebellious against the parents, pushing fucking liberal agendas.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what this show's all about, I guess. So, anyway, right, we get Kurt, he's in the parking lot, and there's this girl asking for money. Well, she doesn't really ask for money, but he starts giving her money, and then as soon as she announces he's got a boyfriend, he just goes into like a fit of rage and starts like going psycho. Kind of reminded me of that skit. I don't know if you've seen it, the guy, and he's like helping the women or whatever, and then they say, I've got a boyfriend, and he starts like kicking their dogs away and shit.
Aye, it's quite funny that. But see, I think this is an American gimmick, right? Seeing like Europe, Britain, whatever. See these like petrol stations, gas stations. This doesn't really tend to happen, doesn't it? Not. This feels like a very American thing. It's like, remember we talked about it at the bar, where you just see like Americans drinking by themselves, and then they throw their wee dollar down and fuck off. That doesn't happen.
No, because in the world where you come from, if you throw your dollar down and walk off, someone's just gonna fucking lift it and pocket it.
Aye, it's the same when we see them at restaurants, but I feel like this, like, so somebody going round practically begging people for money. It doesn't tend to happen in this context, or we're just hitching rides in between towns till we get to our destination. California, I want to become a model. And big Mr. Krabs, he's all on board here. He has got he's about to give her the secret Krabby Patty formula, and then it turns out she's got a boyfriend, and he's fucking back at the drawing board.
Right, yeah, then we get, what do we get next? It's been about a month since I watched this episode, so what do we get next?
I don't know, you're reading the plot, mate, not me. You've lost the plot. You've just broke the fourth wall here on the Dexter Resurrection fucking review.
Well, guys, that's what happens when you're a month out of date reviewing this shit. So, Angela and Teddy, they find her former friend in the caves. So yeah, her friend that went missing. Turns out she didn't just leave and hightail out of town. She was killed. So she was buried out in the middle of nowhere. Dexter's a bit worried about Molly. He thinks that she knows too much, but obviously he can't kill her because that's not the kind of guy he is. But don't worry, maybe Kurt could do him a favour, because Kurt looks like he's going to kill Molly instead.
I'll do you a solid. Yeah, Dexter does a good wee plot here of going in, getting his wee generic order, puts his phone down, the wee recorder's on, and he records the conversation between Molly and Kurt. And again, you think about Molly's experience here of being into all these serial killer podcasts and doing her research, that taking a ride with this old white man out to a secluded location might not be the best idea, but she goes along with it because she's got a hunch. Well, since she's got a hunch, she's believing what he's saying. I'm going to take you to my son, Matt Caldwell.
Yeah, Kurt says that Matt's actually still alive and he's out in this cabin, and if you want an interview, if you want the official scoop, then I'll take you to him. And I don't know, to me, this is a bit naive from Molly. I get it, she's got no reason to think that Kurt's a killer, but did anybody ever teach you not to go with, like, yeah, well, I mean, he is a stranger technically. I mean, she just met the guy really for the first time.
Well, just do the detective work, right? She's here because she thinks there's like a trend with the disappearance of young women.
She's a young woman, and she's
not very big. This guy is very rich, and he's old enough to be around for the entire trend. I'm not saying he's prime suspect number one, but there's a decent chance that it's someone similar to a guy of this caliber. You don't put yourself in this situation, what we're getting at. It's America as well, man.
Yeah, so
you ever watch the movies, brother?
She goes out with Kurt, and just when it looks like Kurt's about to trap her in in that little underground basement room that he's got, Dexter appears, Jim Lindsay, he saves the day. Then Kurt's like, oh no, Matt isn't here anymore, but Dexter just barges into the room. He wants to see Matt for himself. He knows Matt's not in there because he's already killed Matt. And once Jim Lindsay's in, Jim just looks around. Dexter looks around and...
let's wrap that down.
Yeah, Dexter looks around and straight away he can kind of see that this room is.
He notices the door.
This
can only
room
be
is
opened for the outside.
Yeah, this room is like made to contain people. He also notices cameras and stuff like this, and it just looks like maybe not necessarily a kill room, but it looks like a room where you would hold people hostage. And I think at this point, Dexter's like, there's definitely something up with. And again, Dexter knows the bullshit story that Kurt's telling here. Like, for all Molly knows that maybe Matt was here and he left, but Dexter knows that's not the case. Dexter knows there's a legit reason here why Kurt has tried to lure her out into the middle of nowhere, and it's obviously not a good reason.
No, it's not. And the cat's at the bag here. Dexter versus Kurt. Going to go hammer and tong at it for the rest of this season, and I'm looking forward to it. And next, we'll see them meet on the wrestlings. I mean, what do you call that when they do the amateur wrestling? It's not a ring, like, say,
Matt?
No, but it's not really a mat either. They were kind of just rolling about the floor, aren't they?
Yeah, we've seen Harrison break some kit. Harrison's a wee fucking fruit.
Aye, so you basically get Dexter being like the angel on his shoulder, but Mr. Krabs, damn it, he's like the devil. Hurt him. But you're right, I think this Harrison's so fucking unlikable.
I think he is better in Dexter Resurrection, but I think just watching New Blood's kind of ruined him for me.
I think...
Because I know there was a lot of criticism about him, but obviously we'd never seen New Blood, so we kind of went into Resurrection expecting the worst because of shit that we'd seen, and then we're like, you know what, Harrison's not that bad. But having watched this, yeah, he is pretty bad.
Yeah, but watching this, I think you can tell the direction they were going for. They definitely wanted to kill off Dexter and replace him with this guy. And then in Resurrection, they went, you're taking a back seat, son. You're just his son. That's all you are. Nothing more. You're Dexter's son. You're not Harris.
Yeah, but I don't know how many people would watch this with Harrison as the main lead. Even if you've got Dexter playing the Harry Morgan role, I don't know. I just don't think you can kill off Dexter. Maybe if you have a likeable backup plan, but for me, I don't know. He's not it.
I just preferred the dynamic much more of Dexter and Harry, because Harry took Dexter in and groomed him in that way. I don't think it really works with Harrison and Dexter. It feels... I mean, Dexter left him high and dry. And Harrison's then came into his life. Dexter... I mean, yeah, I'm not saying he doesn't love him, but... I mean, I guess you can't just repeat the exact same pattern, right, as what Harry did. But for me... Harrison is getting away with fucking murder. The way he's been acting, I think, the last couple of Dexter for a serial killer, right? And a guy
too lenient, like, he needs
far too lenient.
He needs to just,
again, just like,
shut that shit down.
Stems back into he doesn't give a fuck though.
Yeah,
he's taking drugs. He nearly died. He snapped some guy's arm. I don't care.
Yeah, Angela then, after finding the body of her friend, she calls Dexter, says, I don't need Jim, I need Dexter Morgan, because obviously he is the forensic guy. And
Dexter Morgan, who is famously known, well, we know him as the guy that would purposely mislead the cops so he can do the kill himself. That's who you need, Angela. He will direct this as far... See, he's going to direct this the other side of the Krusty Krab to the fucking chum bucket and put it on Plankton. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah, so that was it for Too Many Tuna Sandwiches. This has got the highest rating of all New Blood episodes on IMDb. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was, like, amazing. I don't think it was perfect by any means.
So far? Or?
No, out of them all, this is I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was probably the best episode so far, but yeah, I mean, if this is the best it's got to offer, then... I mean, it was I thought it was a good episode, but...
See, I think that's the problem with reading stuff into it like that, because you're looking at this and I'm thinking, this is the best. I mean, it's good. It's a very good episode.
Yeah, but sometimes people just hype up episodes and overrate them purely just because of an incident that happens. Because of the Dexter Morgan identity reveal, people can just be like, oh, it was a 10, and then they upvote it and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought it was a good episode, probably the best episode so far, but I still don't think it's not peak Dexter for me.
No,
I'll give it an 8.
It's definitely not. I'll get an 8 out of 10 as well, and I'm looking forward to the last 4.
Alright guys, that's it. We'll catch you in the next one, and we won't be waiting 10 years to review it, so make sure you subscribe, comment, like, and we'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace. Last episode, Molly Parks survived death by the skin of her teeth, but this episode, Kurt Caldwell could be literally caught from the skin of Iris's teeth. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment here to review New Blood, episode 7 of the one and only season of this series. The title is Skin of Her Teeth, and how ironic, because there's a little bit of Kurt Caldwell's skin on Iris's dead body that has been dead for a long, long time now. Caldwell thought he got away with it, but DNA never lies.
It never lies, but I've got a bone to pick with this episode when we get to the whole reveal in the interrogation room and he pins it on his daddy. I didn't like that. Here, it happens, not going to deny that, but I think that's a cheap way out, isn't it? Oh, it's 67% Kurt Caldwell, but it reads senior, buddy, not junior. I think that's him jobbing his fucking dad out. I mean, honestly, his dad was in the town at the time, but do you know that's an easy way out? How many people could realistically get off with crimes? No.
Yeah, but if this guy's willing to kill people, then he's probably not going to draw the line at throwing his dad under the bus and ruining his dad's legacy, is he?
No, I'm not bashing him. Fuck, why wouldn't you use this out if you're a serial killer? My point is, I think in terms of investigation, to just let the guy walk out the door with some half-assed explanation.
Yeah, but is that not a viable excuse? Can he not say, well, hold on here, I've got the same DNA as my father, and that's literally the only evidence you have, so therefore...
But she noticed his wound on his hand, the scar. Bring that up.
I mean, true, but I mean, come on, we all get wounds, we all get scars over our lifetime. Kurt Caldwell is...
yes, but we're not all in for murder investigations.
No, but I mean, I think over everyone's... I mean, I've got a couple of scratches with my cat. I mean, got some claw wounds on my hand, so...
Yeah, but was that what Kurt Caldwell's going to say?
Yeah, I know, but that's like in 40 years' time, someone accusing me of murdering Iris. Oh, look, those scratches could be for Iris. It's like, nah, they're for my cat.
But what I'm saying is the number one.
He didn't get his dreamies, so he fucking tried to attack me.
The number one.
I should have sent him to Dreamland.
You should have, but anyway,
I mean, with the Rocky Balboa 1-2.
It's very convenient.
Rocky didn't throw 1-2.
Right, for fuck's sake,
Rocky threw bombs. The jabs, 1-2 combinations. He didn't have time for that shit.
All I'm saying is, it's very convenient that the number one suspect has the perfect cover to put it on his dad.
Oh, we both drove trucks. He beat my mama, and I knew he did it. I just didn't tell you. So I saw him picking up Iris that night. I should have said, I fuck off.
So you don't think it was a convincing story?
No, I'm not saying it wasn't convincing, and it doesn't. There's not much holes in it. My point is, it is as convenient as a.
So it's not a
7-Eleven.
So it's not
so convenient.
So it's not a Swiss cheese then.
No.
I
don't think it has holes in it, but. If I was what's the head of police?
Mouldy cheese.
What's her name?
Oh Jesus, Angela Bishop.
I think she needs to dig more into Dexter and give him the green light to kill him. I mean, because it looks like the guy's untouchable at this stage.
Well, she doesn't know Dexter Morgan's a serial killer, so she's hardly going to give him the green light.
What did I say?
Yeah, but what dig into? Yeah, but that would suggest that there might be a little bit of evidence. I mean, all she thinks is a guy that abandoned his son and came up with a fake alias. That doesn't equate to automatic. Here, I'm the Bay Harbour butcher.
He's the fucking man. Come on, bring him in, kill him.
Fucking Dexter Morgan's got more bodies than a full-time prostitute that's been doing it for 50 years. It's mental.
And he still didn't have the most bodies this episode. Because it was John Lithgow, pal. He was in the house.
Yeah, I mean, you think Dexter's like the king of serial killers, and then when John Lithgow appears, he just makes Dexter's numbers look like rookie numbers.
I know.
We need to get an official. See if they did it. See if they actually did do a Trinity spin-off and they wanted to show every kill. They'd need to make it about 25 seasons.
I know.
Just to, get them out there.
Or just have him killing fours every little shitey town he goes for.
Think how many people you'd need to kill off screen.
I know what I've been saying.
Anyway, with that said, we get into the episode. So Dexter meets up with Angela in the cave. They're standing over Iris's dead body. I thought this body actually looked decent considering how long she's been dead. Now Dexter did point out the fact that the cold and she's been sheltered away and stuff in the rubble might have preserved her, but I don't know, I just thought the body would literally be up just complete bones at this point.
Yeah, it was a decent nick for being down here, what, about 25 years, something like that?
Yeah, I would have just expected skeletons.
Yeah, but Dexter, I mean, this is Dexter at his best. Miss seeing the guy doing a bit of forensic work. Obviously, never really got. I mean, I guess he got it a wee bit in Resurrection, but I mean, I guess this is actually like active police work, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wonder she didn't. I'm surprised she didn't offer him a job.
I know, why not?
See, instead of working at that rifle place, why don't you become. Although.
Yes, he would need to out himself, wouldn't he?
And I would imagine that the. Where's this place set?
It's close to New York. An hour out from New York.
What's the county called again? The police department?
Iron Lake.
I would imagine that the Iron Lake Police Department probably don't have a budget to bring on a Dexter. Do you not think their forensics would come from outside?
Aye, probably something like that.
I believe like smaller police departments don't have their own forensic guy.
Because Miami PD's Miami.
Aye, so obviously they need it.
Miami.
But I would imagine like the smaller police units, in cases like this, they probably send their evidence away, or someone comes in from another department.
Aye, no, definitely. But at the end of the day, he'd probably work for free here, wouldn't he?
He probably would, but yeah, they find some skin in the mouth and the teeth of Iris, and then it's not actually Dexter, but it's Angela that comes up with a theory that she believes it is Kurt Caldwell who killed Iris. So eventually we do see Kurt get arrested by Angela and the captain of the wrestling team, who, I don't know, comes across a little bit gay in my opinion, but
I think he did say, I think it was revealed that he slept with Molly Park, but if he told me he slept with Harrison or something, I'd fucking equally
he said he's got a breakup playlist on his Spotify.
Aye, that's something.
And he likes to and he likes to wrestle with high school kids, you know, so
The evidence is, he couldn't wait to do mouth to mouth on Harrison when he drugged it, like, didn't he? That was utterly fantastic. But anyway, moving on from
Dexter and Kurt are having a conversation. Dexter thinks he's going to have to kill him, but turns out he's not going to, because Angela comes in, she arrests Kurt in front of everybody in the diner.
I thought we were going to be pals, me and you, SpongeBob.
Yeah, didn't really turn out that way. Kurt can't believe that he's been arrested. We see him in a prison cell. He's locked up for the night. Dexter makes an excuse to get in there after he sent what looks like some sort of bolt. So Dexter sent a package, and it's like some sort of bolt, some sort of screw. He makes, and obviously he knows this is sent from Kurt, so he's wondering like, what is this? He goes to speak with Kurt inside the jail, inside the prison where he's locked up. I mean, Dexter makes some sort of. He makes like a fake crime scene. I think he unleashes some sheep. And since it's a small department, there's only like one guy there. So he goes to check on what's happening. Dexter sneaks in to speak with Kurt. And Kurt brings up the night that Dexter gave him a lift when he called off the search for his son. And yeah, he says that it was snowing that night, only I got in and that wasn't snow. It was ashes. And turns out that Kurt somehow found the remains of those ashes, and what he found in there was this bolt, because after the boat crash, his son Matt, he had to get a screw, I think, in his neck or in his knee.
I think it was his lower back. Two titanium screws.
Either way,
but hold on,
Kurt says titanium doesn't melt, and he's managed to come to the conclusion that his son was put into that furnace. Now, I don't know what automatically made Kurt believe it was Dexter that done it.
Because he picked him up that night. But that's what that night you picked me up. Oh,
that was ashes.
But you're right. Why would he think it's Dexter? Maybe we'll find it in the next couple of episodes.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that there might be something else that gave it away. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the fact that Dexter's the one that brought the gun to Matt. Dexter was the last person that seen Matt. I guess if you put two and two together, I mean, could you get four here?
For how long has he known?
I mean, we have seen him try and question Dexter, and maybe the whole thing with Harrison is
maybe it was a thing with Molly.
Maybe
like, he's on to me.
True, it could be that, and maybe him befriending Harrison, and like you said, the whole thing with Molly. How the hell would Dexter just randomly appear out there at that point? Yeah, maybe Kurt thinks it.
No, but it's a big reach to think, why is this guy out here following me with Molly? He killed my son. So there has to be something, there has to be a middleman.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess we'll find out. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But yeah, Kurt gets away with it. He basically gets his lawyer in there and he says, the DNA belongs to my father. My father was a bad man. I didn't think he was capable of killing. And he apologises and he's sorry for Angela's loss. But here, that was Senior. That was Senior Caldwell, not me. So yeah, Kurt walks. There's nothing that can really happen here. And that's it. He just tells Angela that he's sorry for their loss.
But Logan does say, you could have brought this information forward years ago.
True.
So, again, I mean, honestly, I think there was enough to hold him here. For like a few more days.
Yeah. No, probably, but he's away, he's a free man now. Dexter overhears that Kurt's been released, so he decides that he's going to have to kill him. Molly meets with Angela to talk with her as a friend. I mean, last time they spoke, Angela was like, you know what, we're not working together anymore because you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. You went and spoke with Kurt without my permission. But then Molly opens up on the fact that, yeah, she remembers she's speaking to Kurt, but Dexter, who was also in the room, was like a long way away. He was like halfway across the diner, so it would be impossible, his story about going out there and not really trusting Kurt. That doesn't add up because Molly says there's no way Dexter could hear what they were saying. However, he did charge his phone, so maybe he was recording them, but why the hell would Jim Lindsay just randomly record a conversation between Molly and Kurt? That's the one thing that neither Molly or Angela can figure out. But yeah, she
does suggest here, maybe Jim Lindsay's got some secrets, but it's like, you know him. You've known him all these years, kind of thing. And it's like, well, she didn't really, because she just found out he's Dexter Morgan, which makes Angela think.
Right, we then see Molly leave, and Kurt is sitting in his truck, and he observes Molly as she leaves, and I guess at this point we're thinking, right, well, Kurt's going to try and take her out. He's already tried to do it once. He sees that she is speaking with Angela. Maybe she can be a witness. Maybe she's got more information that he's not aware of when he took her out to the cabin. So I think Kurt's definitely going to try and kill Molly again. However, according to the Wikipedia page, it says that Kurt sits in his truck and observes Molly when she leaves. She is never seen alive again. Now, I don't know if that's just their way of... it could be like a fault here, an error in the write-up, but if we never see Molly again and it's just insinuated that Kurt kills her, I think that is extremely cheap.
I agree, because you've placed this storyline where she's like suspicious of Dexter and obviously has the history with Kurt, and she's like a loose end to Kurt, and if Kurt's on to Dexter and he's going to kill Dexter, he'll probably think he can kill Molly as well, sort of thing. And if she's never seen again, that's too many loose ends for my liking. I don't understand that.
Yeah, to me, that cannot happen.
Like, I honestly, see apart from Angela, Kurt, and Dexter, Molly's probably like the fourth biggest character in terms of this plot, because Harrison's not really in it, is he? Harrison's just the arsehole kid at this point.
And I think, considering that in this spin-off, in this sequel, Michael C. Hall has, for the most part, played Jim Lindsay rather than playing Dexter Morgan. There has been a serious lack of kills, so I think if they take this kill and they have it off screen, and it's never even addressed, that would be a major disappointment in my opinion.
Totally agree.
In a show that's barely had any kills.
But I see no reason why this would be a typo.
No, I'm not saying it's a typo, but maybe you know, I don't know. I
see this. She is never seen alive again. What I assume then is we'll see her body. Like Dexter will find her body.
That's true, but the fact that I believe that rules out a death scene.
Yeah, which
is very cheap.
Or maybe that's a case of Angela's trying to get a hold of her, and then it's like a big shock that she's dead, and that's ruined it for us.
Or it could just be she's never seen again, and that's the character done.
I know, but I think that's key. Never seen alive again.
I just think, considering that we haven't had Dexter Morgan, the Bay Harbor Butcher serial killer, and there's been a lack of kills, I think there should be any chance they have to show a kill on screen. I think they should be doing so.
Absolutely, but I can understand it from the shock element.
Right, we then see the group of the wrestling team who Harrison broke the arm of the leader. They come and try to attack Harrison. They've got, I don't think they have any weapons, but they've got the numbers game, and then Harrison produces a blade, and they're like, what you doing, you freak? And Dexter steps in to save him. Harrison then runs off from Dexter because Harrison believes that Dexter thinks he's some sort of, I don't know, freak, some sort of monster. I guess he is. He's just really unlikable in this series. So he runs off and jumps in he gets a ride from the friend that originally sold him the drugs that he, like, OD'd on. And, you know, like, I just don't get it. Like, when, back to the whole kill thing. Why did Dexter decide that, here, I'm not going to kill the kid that gave you the drugs, and I'm not going to kill the guy that sold your friend the drugs to give you the drugs, but I'm going to kill the guy who sold the drugs to the guy who sold the drugs to your friend who gave you the drugs.
It's a mess, isn't it?
So, I get it, you could say, well, he killed the guy that makes the drugs, so he's taken out the root of the problem
But
or
when would
whatever,
Dexter ever give a fuck about that?
yeah.
Like, I don't, like, for me, it's just, it just doesn't make, Dexter's just been a guy that kills. It's never been personal.
I like, Fricks, if you compare this to Breaking Bad, Fricks, I don't view Walter as bad as the people actually selling the drugs.
Yeah, but that's what it stems from it.
Although you could say he had his meals.
Aye.
So is he just as guilty as the people selling the drugs?
No, but that's how it works, man. The guys at the top never see the actual result on the street, do they?
No,
They
but
don't care.
let's say if you put Dexter into the Breaking Bad universe, who's eligible for his table and who's not eligible for his table?
Well, it has to be killers, doesn't it? But then that's the problem.
No, but no, based on the drug situation that we've seen in this series.
Well, you're going to have to say the likes of
So-
Gus Fring and Walter White are. But Badger isn't. You know, they'll get Skinny Pete.
I don't know, it's just weird. Very weird.
Well, I mean, when you think of it, you think of that. I mean, who deserves to die out of those four? It's definitely the former.
True. Anyway, that was the end of the episode. Dexter gets attacked by some guy and they throw him in a truck. So, yeah, don't know what's happening here. It looks like this could be a hired gun here for Kurt Caldwell. He's certainly got enough money to hire people. So, yeah.
Looking forward to it. And he was too busy with Molly, apparently. That's why he couldn't do it.
3 episodes to go.
I mean, it's picking up, but I think it's...
You would think with Kurt Caldwell, though, the fact that there's these suspicions about him, would it not be better getting someone...
Brother.
Would it not be better off getting someone else to kill Molly?
Come on.
If she dies...
Would Trinity get someone else to kill someone?
I think if she dies off screen, it's going to be very poor.
I agree.
I just can't think of Dexter, the original show, where somebody important dies off screen.
Can you think of anyone?
No, none.
Is that Leroy?
I mean,
A little bit of screaming Solara. Had to chop him up.
I guess Meat Parcel dies off screen to an extent.
That was good. But see, I think that's how they'll do her death. I feel like it'll be a big reveal. Like
What, Dexter will look in the fridge for a drink or something and she'll just be, her fucking head will be in there?
Aye, some fucking Japanese water.
Chinese, buddy. Anyway, rating time. I'll give this episode... I'll give it a 7. I liked seeing I like seeing Dexter at the beginning, back doing his investigating, and I like that.
I'll give it a 7 as well, but I just think the next 3 episodes, looking at the ratings, looking at that reveal about Molly there, I just don't really expect much.
You just said you were looking forward to it.
No, I am looking forward to it, but I'm not expecting an insane amount.
Well, he's not expecting much.
Good to see Trinity though. That was good.
We got a glimpse of Trinity. It felt forced in there though, didn't
But
it?
Harrison's seen it, so.
Well, that's what Harrison's seen.
I mean, hold on, we've seen fucking Trinity in the bath. He was in the bath.
Bit weird that Harrison's like what, a year old there,
Aye, something like that.
and he's got a big fucking naked
Aye, 60.
Jim Liveglow walking towards him.
John
Liveglow walking towards him.
John soaked in fucking blood.
Disturbing scene. Anyway, guys, 7 out of 10. Till next time. Peace. The hunter became the hunted when Dexter Morgan found himself being chased through the forest. Normally, he is a fan of blood, but not when it's bleeding out of his own leg. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. And Dexter, he was a one-legged man getting chased through the forest by one of Kurt's right-hand men. Elric, we've seen, he shot Dexter. He's also good with a sniper rifle. So far, we've seen Kurt. He's not bad. He can take out women. He can take out kids running away from his cabin. But we've seen Elric here. He must have a bit of hunter experience as well. He was certainly good at hunting down Dexter this episode, but I'm sure he's shot a few bucks and a few deers in his lifetime as well, because Dexter thought he was going to escape, but Elric lined up, scope, bang, Dexter, kneecap, well, maybe not kneecap, but
if it was kneecap, he wouldn't have been walking.
Yeah, true. But Dexter took instead of taking an arrow to the knee, he took a bullet to the thigh, and it was chase on.
I enjoyed this sequence. I mean, this is what should happen in the real world. If you've got some guy that's renowned for hunting, chasing you, it doesn't matter if you're a serial killer, if you're limping, if you're leading a trail of blood and footprints, you should be snookered. And that's what happened. Now, you criticise other shows, The Walking Dead, that we're currently reviewing. If this was an unnamed guy going against like a Rick Grimes or a Daryl, he'd have turned around and just
2 seconds, bang.
Yeah. Even though when you actually think of it, Dexter is so much more capable of dealing with someone in hand-to-hand combat than those two clowns.
Yeah, but
that's just good writing, though.
But this episode made this Elrich guy feel like a major threat.
Yeah.
Made it feel like Dexter's life was seriously in danger.
Oh, absolutely. And he chased him throughout the forest. He tried to get rid of him at the water, at the river, but then he's like, "Hey, you're going to outsmart me, boy." No, not going to outsmart him, because he's seen that a million times, covering the footprints.
I think it was one of the best episodes of New Blood yet, and I think it was an extremely heavy Dexter/Kurt episode.
It was.
And I think that's why it works. So we start with Elrich, he's driving Dexter. Dexter's in the back seat, passed out. He's driving him to Kurt's place, but Dexter manages to wake up after having a little bit of a dream sequence about his son. And even though he's like cable tied, he manages to throw his arms around the face of Elrich and pretty much tears up his mouth pretty damn good. Elrich though crashes into the car. Dexter gets ejected from the seat, and just when he thinks he's okay and he's going to be able to track down Kurt, Elrich gets out the driver's seat with his rifle, lines up Dexter, who's trying to run into the forest, but before Dexter can actually escape, Elrich gets a shot off, blasting him in the leg. And this means that now Dexter's bleeding, but not only that, not only is it slowing Dexter down, it's also making it impossible for Dexter to escape, because Elrich uses the blood to hunt him down, he uses the blood to track down Dexter, and of course, I mean, blood is pretty easy to see, but even easier to see when it's in the white snow.
Of course, I mean, red on white is the easiest combination you could get. So he follows him, and like I said...
What kind of gang violence is that?
What?
Red on white?
Red Indians?
Maybe.
Although it seemed to be the other way about.
Yeah.
Oh, the 6 grandfathers.
So, we constantly get Dexter getting chased down here by Elrich. He tries to maneuver, he tries to stop the bleeding, he tries to make up fake passageways. He even has his footprints stop at the water, trying to get Elrich to believe that he dove in there, but Elrich is like, "I'm not falling for this, it's the oldest trick in the book." And Elrich says, "I've got all day," and Dexter's like, "Fuck it, well I don't." We eventually see Dexter though. He leads Elrich with some blood on a door handle. He leads him into this like abandoned like cabin, and Elrich comes across this like, I guess it was like a two-sided mirror, a two-way mirror.
Aye.
And he's looking at the writing in the mirror, but before he can really react, Dexter just smashes through the mirror. He was on the other side, and eventually he just had to hide long enough, and then he took his moment, he jumps on top of Elrich, and Elrich says, "I was just doing my job, it's nothing personal," and Dexter stabs him with a big massive fucking blade that he picked up a minute ago, and he said, when you're dealing with my son, when you're messing with my son, when you're messing with Harrison, it is personal. So, I mean, I can kind of understand why Dexter killed this guy. I mean, I get it from Elrich's perspective, he probably doesn't think it's not personal to him, but, I mean, you are working with a guy that looks like he's going to do harm to this guy's son and kill him, so, I mean...
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, Dexter, I think this is a justified kill for me. I don't think we're looking at anything other. I mean, he's going after Dexter. He's going after his son, and also he can't really leave him alive, can he? What's
No.
going to do? Tie him up? Leave him there? Leave a trail back to Jim Lindsay or Dexter Morgan, however way you want to spin it. So Dexter speeds off in the motor, heading towards the cabin where Kurt's kept him.
Yeah, all this time we've got Kurt and Harrison. They're having dinner together. They're bonding. We do see a scene where they go to like the high school gym and they're using the baseball machine, and Kurt puts it on like a curveball.
Yep.
And it's weird. Harrison kind of wants to, I guess, show that he's capable of playing, but then he just stops swinging the bat and he just keeps taking these hard swerve balls to the chest or to the ribs or to the side of the side of the body area, almost as if to say, I don't know. It was almost like I deserve this kind of thing, or I like the pain. It was weird. And Kurt's looking on, thinking, what is this guy?
Good shit, pal.
Yeah.
I like their scene later. Venison Scott, she's like, they don't like people like me and you. They don't understand this. Well, guess what? Fuck 'em.
Yeah, so we've seen a lot of bonding here, mate. We've seen more bonding, I guess, between Kurt and Harrison than we've really seen between Harrison and his own father, Dexter. But the entire time that Kurt is trying to, I guess, smooth talk Harrison and trying to, manipulate Harrison and get him into like this dangerous situation, we've got Dexter on the phone trying to communicate, trying to warn his son, but airplane mode is a bitch, so I guess he couldn't contact him. We did have a little bit of, no, what's her name? Not Angela, that's the one.
Wee bit of investigation here.
Yeah, so she was speaking with Logan, talking about that drug dealer, and he brings up how Dexter was beating him up, but before that, he only started beating him up when the police arrived, which is kind of weird because you'd think he'd try and do that before the police arrived. She goes and speaks to the drug dealer, and he talks about a needle that Dexter, or this in this case Jim Lindsay, plunged into his neck. And then she also goes to the guy, the morgue where the guy was like making the drugs, and she gets an image to see that he was also injected with a needle. And she puts two and two together, and at this point, I believe Angela thinks that Jim Lindsay, aka Dexter Morgan, was responsible for killing the guy making the drugs and possibly attempting to kill the guy that sold the drugs as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising that Angela put two and two together this quick, but I guess it does make sense when the guy explains what happened. It's like he injected me in the neck, and then lo and behold, the mark's on his neck. Then when she goes to the big bad drug dealer, the mark's on his neck. So Angela's figured this out a lot quicker than what some goats have figured out in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. We then get Kurt tells Harrison that he needs to take care of something, so we see Kurt leave, and at this point there's nothing really, Kurt's just acting cool. Kurt and Harrison are bonding, they're just enjoying some dinner. And then Kurt comes back out, full ski mask on, and you're like, what the fuck?
He's joined the raft.
And he tells Harrison to get up. He tells Harrison to leave, run. Harrison sees several missed calls with Dexter. Harrison's like, what the fuck did I do? And Kurt apologises, and he says that it's the sins of the father, basically. So, yeah. And I guess he suffered the same fate, maybe? So he can relate to this, to what Harrison's going to get here, because he feels that he potentially suffered his father's fate. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got that from that as well, but I mean, he also dobbed his dad into it.
Yeah, I know he made up that story, but I mean, maybe his father actually was a bad guy, who knows?
Well, I mean, but see, he could have just laid all that on thick to make him sound even worse than what he was.
Yeah.
Maybe his dad was a great guy. Maybe he was a great truck driver.
Here, we'll never know. Maybe Kurt's dad was a great truck driver, or maybe he did kill people.
Aye.
Maybe he was this abusive guy.
Well, there you go.
Who knows? Anyway, what we don't know is what happened with his father, but we do know that Harrison runs at the cabin, but thankfully his father is nearby. We see Dexter speeding in his car. Kurt takes a few shots at him, misses them both. Kurt has to dive out the way, drops his rifle. Dexter gets out the car to check on Harrison, and then we just see Kurt in his full white ski mask running off into the distance. And Jesus Christ, I mean, Kurt was not moving here like an older man.
He was running like a guy with a purpose. It was like Mr. Krabs running because the cash register has been hoovered at the Krusty Krab.
It reminded me of, what's his name? The guy from Metal Gear Solid 3 here.
The end?
Aye, the way he would move. I was like, what the fuck? Boom. Off he goes. And that's it. Dexter is sitting there with Harrison, and Kurt's managed to escape.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was definitely... Was it the best? I'd say it was the best episode. Business and shit's hit the fan. I would just like an explanation though how he knows it's Dexter.
Yeah,
Maybe that'll happen in the next 2 episodes, but I wouldn't bank on it.
we then
Also, at the beginning of the episode, he was working on something, Kurt. I think he's just killed Molly, but like you read in the last episode, we never seen her.
Yeah, and we end this episode with Dexter opening up with Harrison, telling him that you can confide in me because just like you, I was also born in blood. And he reveals that Harry taught him a way to channel the urges, and he's going to tell Harrison the same thing. Harrison hugs Dexter in the car. Are we led to believe that now Dexter's going to train Harrison to kill bad people? Possibly. Is that the right decision? I don't know. Will Deborah approve of this? Probably not. Would Harry approve of this? I mean, I thought it was good enough for Dexter, so why wouldn't it be good enough for his grandson?
See what Dexter told him here? He could have told him that at the get-go. Didn't he tell him about killing or anything here?
I could have just taught him
My dad.
medication or something.
This makes him sound pathetic though. It's like, oh, the reason I've left you for all these years because I also had a dark passenger kind of... It's like, hold on here. You could have just taught him this at the beginning when he first rocked up to town.
Do you think Dexter will open up, or do you think it will be more of Harrison witnesses him killing someone? Or do you think Dexter will just come out and say, "Hi, Harrison, I'm a killer"?
I think he's probably going to have to reveal him before Kurt comes back for round 7 or whatever it is at this point.
Yeah, anyway, guys, that is it. I thought this was a good episode, so I don't know if it was the best episode, but it was certainly one of the best. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10 as well. For Nubla. 2 to go though. Feels weird there's only 2 to go.
Yeah, and then that's it. 2 to go, and we know at this point there's no season 2. I highly doubt we'll ever get a season 2 at this rate. So
There's no need. Season 2 of this is Season 2 of Resurrection.
pretty much. Right, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Till then, let us know your thoughts down below, and peace. It might be Christmas in Iron Lake, but Dexter made himself sound more like Santa Claus than a serial killer when he had story time with Harrison and revealed the Dark Passenger. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. We are getting towards the end of Dexter New Blood, and there is only one season of Dexter New Blood. I can't imagine they will ever bring out a second now that we've got Resurrection on the go. So yeah, after this, just one more episode. This one was called The Family Business. I guess that kind of ties in with the Dark Passenger reveal and Harrison getting involved. But overall, I was actually a little bit disappointed with the episode. I thought it was pretty good, but it brought an end to the Dexter or Jim Lindsay, Kirk Caldwell feud, and I just don't think enough happened. I like Kirk Caldwell. I think he was a decent bad guy, but again, killed off before the finale. You also factor in this had 2 episodes less than your typical Dexter season. Yeah, and also almost like Dexter, and it was almost like, and they didn't engage. Dexter didn't find out the truth until into the second half, and to me, there just wasn't enough build-up between Dexter and Kirk Caldwell. And even then, Dexter wasn't even allowed to be Dexter for like the first 7 episodes. He was Jim Lindsay in disguise. It was okay, but I certainly think it could have been better.
It was 0 to 100, then 100 to 0 relatively quick. You're right. I actually really enjoyed the episode, but Mr. Krabs just dies. And then you're thinking, is that it? But I know why they've done it, because they've tried to set this up for Harrison against Dexter in the next episode. They planted the seeds there. Oh, you killed Matt. You might not be as squeaky clean as I thought you were, Daddy-O. But, I mean, at this point, Kirk Caldwell versus Dexter's the drawing point, not Harrison Morgan.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea when you kill the main... I don't think you should be killing the main antagonist before the season finale.
Yeah, it didn't work in season 3.
And the showrunner, Clyde Phillips, actually came out and said that was one of his big regrets, killing off Miguel before the finale.
It's the basic formula of TV. I mean, I think the best TV shows, they don't tend to kill off the antagonist for that season until late on. The last episode.
Season 1 of Dexter is arguably the best season, some people would say, but I just couldn't imagine the finale if Rudy was killed, or Brian, as you want to call him, was killed in episode 11. And then Trinity Killer, I just couldn't imagine if he was killed in episode 11. Like, you know what? And I know people are going to say, "Oh, well, they're different seasons, different characters." I get that, but to me, I was disappointed to see Kurt Caldwell go here, especially considering that we didn't really find out he was the killer until what, episodes 4 or 5,
Yeah.
and then Dexter didn't find out he was a killer until episode 7, 8.
And at that point, it's
Probably 7. We'll go with 7. I mean, he maybe had suspicions about him, but he didn't know until... It just feels like, to me, we didn't get enough scenes. We didn't get enough interactions between Dexter and Kurt. That's what I think.
No, I totally agree with that. And obviously, this. I mean, I thought there were some good scenes this episode, but it felt like it ended prematurely. Like with him on his table.
Yeah, I agree. Right, we start the episode then with Dexter revealing to Harrison the dark passenger. Deborah is sitting there saying, "You better not do this, don't be a sick fuck. He's not like you, don't ruin what you've got with him." So Dexter does reveal the dark passenger, but he gives like a watered down version of what he actually does. Version. Yeah, it was kind of lame. Dexter basically told Harrison that he finds out... Basically, there was a bad guy and a clown, and Dexter, he committed a lot of crimes, bad crimes, heinous crimes, and Dexter tracked him down and tied him up and scared him and then let him go. That's basically what he told Harrison. And Dexter said that, "Yeah, I feel the same as you. Sometimes I want to hurt people, so when I feel this way, I track down bad guys and give them a verbal threat and then let them go." And Harrison's almost sitting there believing this, and I'm thinking, really? This is how I've got a dark passenger. I want to hurt people, I want to kill people, but I don't actually. What I do is I find the worst of society and I just give them a talking to. I give them a warning. It's like, what the fuck? I thought this was pretty poor.
This might work on the odd killer, like logically speaking, but
no, this is something you would do to a kid before they commit serious crimes. You know, maybe they shoplift a packet of crisps.
Like the guy in season 1. He let go.
Aye, you know, like, but come on, you see, once you get like murderers and fucking child killers and shit like that, I mean, I think...
What do we think would have happened if he scared Trinity, but Trinity was allowed to go?
You know?
I think Harrison would be in cement.
Yeah, so
Dexter would be lying dead somewhere.
Yeah, so we get that, and then the Dexter basically says, "Aye, you know, why don't we do the we could do the same thing to Kurt, but." Dexter believes Kurt's going to leave, so they go and have Christmas with what's her name, Julia? What's the cop called?
Chief. Oh God, Angela.
So they go and have dinner with Angela in Oddbury. Well, it's not dinner, it's like, I don't know, breakfast. It's opening the presents Christmas morning.
Breakfast morning. Get the tea in.
Yeah, Angela is being like distant from Dexter, being hesitant. Even on the phone, he said, "I love you." She didn't say it back. You can clearly see here that she is like apprehensive and not wanting to engage because she seriously believes there's something wrong with this guy. She's looking at photos from the Bay Harbour butcher kills, and then she's looking at photos from the 2 drug dealers that got needled in this season, and she sees the same mark, and I think at this point she believes that Dexter is the Bay Harbour butcher, although would she, if she was 100% sure, would she have him in her house with her daughter on Christmas? But I get it, I mean, does she really want to make a scene? I don't know if she knows for sure, but she's definitely seriously considering the possibility that Jim Lindsay is indeed the Bay Harbour butcher.
Nah, it's same with Kurt. I think she does believe Kurt did it, and I think she does believe Dexter's the Bay Harbour butcher, but until you actually have that 100% tangible proof, you can't really act on it. And fun fact, they both end up in the living room. Kurt rocks up at the door. Don't actually remember what he brought, but he comes in.
He brought a present. He's like, "Oh, if I knew you guys were here, I'd have brought more."
But see, this is brilliant acting here for Mr. Krabs and Michael C. Hall, because you could just feel it.
Yeah,
and that takes excellent acting. I've watched so many shows and movies over the years.
Well, it would have felt like 2 strangers that had no like animosity or anything.
Yeah, but you could have cut this with one of Dexter's fucking meat cleavers.
You could have cut the tension.
So, round of applause. I like this scene. This scene was very good.
It was, right. So that now that they know that Kurt's back in town, he's not left, Dexter and Harrison, I guess, go to do their whole scare tactic on Kurt, but Harrison says that he doesn't think that's really going to work, and he believes that bad people deserve more than just to be scared, and that they deserve, to die. And then, at some point, Dexter reveals that, yeah, actually, you know what? Well, he's asked by Harrison, because I just don't think Harrison was believing it at the end of the day. Did you kill that clown? And then we see some flashbacks where Dexter does indeed kill the clown. Dexter admits he kills the clown, and then
he says he killed Trinity as well.
Yeah, and I guess this made Harrison feel a little bit better. So, well, while Harrison and Dexter are, they've got a drone, and they find like a secret location that Kurt's got, like an underground tunnel kind of thing, underground passage. While they're investigating that, you've got Kurt, he's burning down Dexter's cabin. But Dexter goes into his underground place, and there's cameras, and this alerts Kurt, so he has to chase back to try and hide the evidence. Dexter and Harrison get in there, and we basically see all the women that Kurt has killed, and he's kept them as trophies. Dexter called it. They're in like cabinets. We get to the end, and then we see the Molly from Mary fucking Kill. And Dexter's like, Mary fucking kill. And again, I thought this was pretty cheap, killing her off screen. This season lacked, in my opinion, deaths. You know, you don't have Dexter doing his usual 3, 4, 5 kills. He killed one person up until, you know, Kurt's henchman. But, you know, normally you see Dexter go and kill all these bad guys that deserve it. You never really seen it. He killed the drug dealer, yes, but there was a lack of kills. In my opinion, he didn't really get that many Kurt kills either. So I think, and the ones that he did kill were like no-name characters. At least this Molly was built up a little bit. I think it would have been a lot better if her death was on screen.
I mean, I like the way it was done, but I totally agree with you. There's just been not enough kills. I feel like if there was more kills and you still have her death like this, then it was good, but we kind of had it spoiled for us when we read the Wikipedia. It says she's never seen alive again.
True, but also it's like, see with the fact that she was leaving and you had Kurt Caldwell like spying on her, I think that the writing was on the wall. So to me, the fact that she's dead here, I don't think that's a massive surprise. Plus, with Angela not being able to contact her. See if they were going for a shocking surprise that, oh, Kurt killed Molly, then I don't think they nailed it, because I think it was obvious. I mean, we'd seen Molly leaving with Kurt, you know, tailing her in his car. Then nobody could contact Molly, and Angela couldn't get through to her. I think if you put 2 and 2 together, most people would come up with 4. Anyway, we get Dexter and Harrison. They managed to capture Kurt, and again, I get it. You know, Dexter, a lot of the times when he takes down his opponent, it is kind of just too easy, and he jabs them with the needle. And I get it. Yeah, first rule, don't get caught. So why would he get into a fight? You know, why would he engage into a battle where he might not win? But I would have just liked a bit more of a struggle. I just thought it was too easy. The way Harrison distracted Kurt with the whole, you know, gun fucking finger point, and then Dexter just comes in and needles him.
Yeah, you look back at Dexter, I think the best one is him against Dokes, but I think it's the best because there's a struggle between the two of them. You actually get Dexter and Dokes colliding.
Unfortunately, though, we didn't get that here. Kurt does eventually wake up, and he's wrapped in plastic, and Dexter's showing Harrison, this is how you do it. The plastic captures the blood. You can't leave any evidence behind. Kurt's like, oh, what the hell is this? Some father-son duel thing. Then he talks about how he bonded with Harrison. Harrison's like, well, why did you try and kill me then? Kurt says, nothing personal, kid. I kind of wish, you were my son. But, yeah, basically, your father there killed my son, so therefore I was going to kill you. Nothing personal. Sins of the father. Dexter says, though, he met the code. And this seemed, and Kurt was like, what the fuck are you talking about code? And like, again, yeah, Matt did kill some people, but it was accidental.
Yeah, I don't think this guy, honestly, man, I don't think this guy should have met the code. I mean, Dexter had a relationship with Hannah, who fucking literally killed people.
Yeah, so Dexter has...
Oh, but you would think this guy would brief his son, here, the reason why he tried to kill you is I killed his son, but he met the code, son. But like, see when Dexter wakes the guy up, we always get the speech, and it's not like, oh, that's the way the script goes. That's the way Dexter is with the code. He explains and he talks to the victim. So surely he must have thought, when he wakes up, it's going to come to the fact that he's attacking Harrison because I killed his son, and Harrison's going to be there.
And then that's going to be awkward if I don't explain that to him. And it's exactly what happens, and that's what's going to happen in the finale. You know, this is going to come back to bite Dexter in the arse, and that's why Harrison's probably going to shoot him. It's going to stem for this.
Yeah, now, again, we put up the poll. I mean, Matt Caldwell came across as a fucking dick. And, I mean, his recklessness behind the wheel did cost people their lives. But, I mean, he wasn't a killer, was he, really? I mean, he wasn't a murderer. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's manslaughter, negligence, and I get that, but I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like the Dexter Code, it kind of, I think in the later seasons of the original show, and then in New Blood, I do think...
It's out the window, essentially. I mean, because I think he killed Matt. It was more of a fit of rage than...
Yeah, and he's like, oh fuck, I've knocked him out, I may as well just go through with it.
Yeah.
So, eventually, he just kind of kills Kurt after Kurt, I guess, is trying to not plead for his life. Kurt wasn't really begging, but I think maybe Dexter just heard enough. So he kills him, chops him up, and Harrison's getting a front row seat here with everything getting wrapped in plastic. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. We see them taking care of the body. Angela is still doing more digging into Molly. She goes to visit the place where Molly was staying. Molly's checked out apparently though, but she left some equipment, some items in her personal safe that Angela reckons Molly would never have left behind. So yeah,
I think Molly is her death, or well, I mean, no body's been found, but her disappearance, I think Angela's actually going to bring Dexter in on her kill, because she's going to think, fuck, she rocked up with her podcast and she's disappeared, and because I don't see any other reason Dexter can get arrested. They're not going to be able to pinpoint Kurt's death to him, because they're not even going to go, Kurt's dead.
Yeah.
So yeah, Molly's death, I think, well, her disappearance, sorry, is going to bring Dexter in next episode. And also, she did get the envelope at the end of the episode that read, he's the Bay Harbour Butcher. Yeah. So I think Kurt had contingencies in place of some kind if he disappeared or something.
Well, it wasn't the Bay Harbour, it was they killed Matt Caldwell, so...
Oh right, I will, sorry, I will... Either or.
Yeah, so Dexter and Harrison get back. Their house has been burnt down. Angela's like, where the fuck were you? Dexter said, I lost track of time. Blah, blah. You can clearly see, I don't think Dexter gives a shit about Angela. Just the way he was like speaking with her in this episode.
No, he doesn't.
He has pretty much zero time for her. And then he's like, I'm going to go into the kitchen, help me. I'm the breakfast champion, something along those lines. After Audrey says, well, surely they can stay with us. They can stay with us. And I don't know. Don't think that's a fucking good idea. But yeah, then she reads a note and it says that Jim Lindsay killed Matt Caldwell, which I'm going to assume. I mean, it's either from Kurt or Harrison doesn't agree with what his father does and he's the one that wrote it.
It could be another henchman of Kurt's, though, no? Something like that.
I don't think, with one episode to go. I mean, they possibly could do that. I mean, I would say it was either Kurt or Harrison. I think that's your two options.
I'd say the likelihood would be more along the lines of Kurt, because I don't think Harrison would have the other screw, would he?
Well, that is true. That is true. And Matt had two screws, and Kurt had already showed him one, so probably was Kurt. But I just don't think they're going to introduce a henchman into the finale. But then again, they might need to try and pad it a wee bit. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I thought it was a good episode, but I'm kind of just disappointed. I'm not really disappointed in this episode. I'm just disappointed in that we're not getting the Kurt and Dexter feud continuing into the finale. That to me is disappointing. But I mean, I'll give this episode an 8 out of 10. I thought it was good.
I'll agree with an 8, but just disappointing going forward. I can understand, even though I've not seen the finale, I can understand why it got a low rating, because I do think there's not really an awful lot there. Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time. Let us know what you thought down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. And peace. You've heard the sins of the father. Well, what about sins of the showrunner? Because Dexter New Blood is all over. And I, for one, I'm definitely not happy with that ending. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here to review the final ever episode of Dexter New Blood, because I highly doubt there will ever be a season 2 of this show. Looks like they just decided to scrap it, bin it, and go with Resurrection instead, which I think was a pretty good idea, a pretty good option. But yeah, this finale for me, I did not like it. Extremely disappointed with the ending. I think the first half of the episode started strong. I was enjoying it. And then there was something that happened at the midway point, which I just totally did not like. I say midway point, probably more towards the end of the episode. And then we got the ending, the showdown between Harrison and Dexter. It made no sense to me whatsoever. And we also got a tease that Batista was coming, but Batista never arrived. Going into this episode, it kind of felt like you needed to have a 12-episode season. It felt like there should be 2 episodes remaining. But they tried to cram everything in, and I just did not like it.
I didn't like it either. I think it's good in a weird way that we both watched Resurrection before watching this, so we know how they redeemed it. But by God, see if you watched this 4 or 5 years ago when it came out, you'd have been questioning what the hell's going on, because, like you said, a decent episode, but a rushed mess in the last 20 minutes fucking ruined it.
Yeah, now keep in mind, it took Resurrection about 4 years to come out after this. So, at the time watching this, and then they don't announce there's a season 2, you're probably left thinking for a couple of years, this is the end of Dexter.
This is your whack.
This is it. Dexter Morgan just gets laid out in the forest, laying in the snow, making snow angels.
And that's what makes it very rushed for me, the end, and he just shoots him. And that's it. To this point, 9 seasons for that?
Yeah, so we start. You've got the 2 kids. Angela sends them out to get ingredients to make a nice dessert. Then she says, "Right, on your knees, Dexter, hands up." And he thinks they're role playing, but she grabs her gun, points it at him, and she's taking it way too far here, according to Dexter. And then we get Logan bursting in through the back door. Thankfully, not Dexter's back door, but Logan makes it a handicap match, and then Dexter realizes, oh shit, Angela's not messing around here. She really means business. So he gets taken down to the police station. He gets questioned. She blames him for the death of Matt Caldwell, but she also thinks he's responsible for the death of quite a few other people, including that drug dealer. And she also believes that he could be the Bay Harbor Butcher.
Which prompts a couple of scenes of Batista, who you were rightfully correct on, by the way, about the fact that he would not be appearing throughout this show much. And I expected more from Big Dave. We've seen him at the conference, we've seen him at the after party at the conference, and then we've seen him in this episode, dusting off the Fundera, dusting off his suit, ready to, well, I say dusting them off, I don't think he needs the Fundera, I think he needs a wee coat on him, but I cannot believe they hyped up Batista here, like, oh, here, your former captain's on his way, and he wants answers.
But the show ends before he gets there. You know, it's like, what are they doing?
What were they thinking?
Even in Resurrection, I think they could have kept Batista alive, or certainly gave him more screen time. But we're not here to talk about Resurrection. We'll stick with New Blood for now, but very disappointed with the lack of Batista.
I think it's insane how they teased here that Dexter's going to meet Batista. But back here, they were killing Dexter off with no interaction between the two. Why tease it and pull it from under our feet?
It doesn't make any sense to me, but Angela starts asking Batista about cases. Does he remember the Bay Harbor Butcher? And Batista's like, oh, I remember that one. I remember that one all right. She then talks a little bit more about it and brings up who was the Bay Harbor Butcher. And Batista says, well, people thought it was Dokes, but she asked Batista, what did you think? He says back then he believed it was Dokes, but now he's not too sure. He also says that, funnily enough, his wife, his ex-wife, his late wife, believed it was another member of the Miami Metro who was the Bay Harbor Butcher. Angela asks, who was that member? Who did she think it was? And he goes, Dexter Morgan. And then she reveals that here, Dexter Morgan's right here with me. She emails Batista a photo. Originally, Batista, when he answered the phone, was like, you know, I'm a happily married man. Even though he's not, he's just living in the middle of fucking nowhere on his own. But yeah, he's
got a decent eye, man.
La Passion. Yeah, he quickly goes from flirting to serious mode here once he sees that Dexter Morgan is still alive. And he says he's going to be coming out there. Because, yeah, I mean, maybe at this point, Batista wants to question Dexter. Angela, I think, believes that Dexter's the Bay Harbor Butcher. So, I mean, you've got 2 cops believing that this guy could be a serial killer, and they would both be right. So, Batista tells Angela he will be there first thing tomorrow. And that's it. That's your Batista part of this episode over. Very disappointing.
Yeah, again, I think there's just numerous questions here. I actually thought Dexter was in a coma for weeks. But by the way this is portrayed, the way Batista rocks up in Resurrection, it feels like he's just fresh off the plane.
Yeah, well, like I said, we're not going to talk about Resurrection anymore because I feel like that's kind of flawed. We can't really keep bringing up Resurrection regarding this episode, can we?
Well, I think we can at the end of the episode, but here, we'll worry about that then.
Right, so Batista's like, I'll be there, and then that's it, boom. Dexter at this point realises that Batista's coming. He realises that Angela not only thinks he killed Matt Caldwell, but she thinks that he killed the guy that made the drugs, and she also thinks that he is the Bay Harbor Butcher, which would put, like, over 200 kills on him, and she says that you will be sent to Florida, and she's going to try and seek the death penalty. That means death penalty in Florida. So at this point, it's not really looking good for Dexter.
There's no proof.
Yeah, there is no proof, but I mean, it's not looking good. It's not
looking good, but they have nothing concrete on him here. And it's not like he's dead to rights.
Yeah, well, Dexter seems to think he'll be able... I mean, initially with Matt Caldwell, he thought he'd be able to talk his way out of it, and the evidence wouldn't stick. But she reveals more of the steel rods that Matt had in him, the steel screws. So that's not 100% proof, but it's not looking good for Dexter.
Oh, we found one at your house, and then it turns out that Teddy's went to Kurt Caldwell's house, and he's found a vehicle with remnants of the oil and the fuel that was used at Dexter's house to burn it down, because that's now looking like arson. So again, Dexter points out, it looks like Kurt's done it. Looks like Kurt set
me up, and I mean, that is possible.
He's like, he probably killed his own son. Which again, does sound a bit far-fetched, but Matt was a dick.
But then Dexter tells Angela about Kurt's bunker. She leaves abruptly. She goes to the bunker. She finds all these women. And who knows, maybe this has helped maybe this helps Dexter's cause.
I think it does help Dexter's cause. It proves that Kurt's a killer.
Yeah.
And therefore, why wouldn't he kill his son? Maybe his son found the bunker. Who knows?
Possibly. So, I mean, I guess this is a bit of a smart move from Dexter. Angela obviously sees her, I think she sees her friend or what. No, sorry, seeing her friend. She sees Molly Park. And then she sees all these other women that she had, like, pictures up on her notice board. So her world kind of comes crashing down here. She calls Logan, tells Logan to get out there. But in the department, Logan ain't going to be coming out there because he gives Dexter some water. Dexter tells Logan he's a good guy, but then he grabs Logan, puts him in a chokehold, demands Logan lets him into the cell. Then it looks like Logan is reaching for his keys to possibly unlock Dexter, but at the last moment, he switches, he goes for his gun. Dexter tells him not to do it. Logan grabs the gun, points it backwards. I think he gets off a few shots, but Dexter then just snaps his neck and kills Logan. A guy who had done nothing wrong, a guy who was innocent. I mean, Dexter could argue he had his gun pointed at him, but
because of what his actions.
You had him in a fucking chokehold, and you're a killer. So, and he's a cop. He's allowed to have his gun pointed at you.
I find this ridiculous. Dexter had no reason to go to these means. Oh, he wanted to be with Harrison and escape.
This is the worst kill I think Dexter's had across the entire franchise.
Yes, but I think it's just flawed across the board. It's like, I think if Dexter's going to kill someone innocent, it has to be justified to a degree where there was no other way. And I feel like there was multiple ways here.
Yeah, possibly. But he kills Logan, and this is like probably the one kill now that 100% can be tied to Dexter. Mm-hmm. And the code is don't get caught, and yes, he's managed to escape, so he's not caught, but I don't know. I'm assuming there's footage as well in the police station. Even if there's not, who else would have done this? Logan is laying across the cell with his neck snapped that Dexter was in, and now he's not there. Even if there's no video proof, I mean, Dexter's going to get done for Logan's murder. It's impossible to get away with this one. So he really has...
I'm going to assume there's no video proof based off what happens in the future, but again, it's a ridiculous situation that he's killed this guy because he wants to be with Harrison. Oh, I want to get to Harrison. See if they had 100% like admissible proof that he was the Bay Harbor Butcher and he was going to get the death penalty and he couldn't weasel his way out of it. I think him turning Rambo and going rogue and just killing Logan, then that makes sense.
But it still goes against. I don't think Harry would approve of that. I think Harry would be like, "Well, son, you got caught. It was a good ride. Now it's the chair."
No, I agree. I think Harry would be like that.
I don't think Harry would.
I think the fear, though, for the most part, would be like, he finally snapped when it was Endgame.
I just don't think Harry would be saying, well, son, you got caught. Now you're going to have to kill someone who doesn't deserve it."
Yeah. Honestly, he's killed innocent people before, but not knowingly.
Yeah, not knowingly. So Dexter then meets up with Harrison, tells him, meet me here. They go out into the forest. Dexter's like, right, we need to go. Harrison doesn't really want to go. He's like, what's happening here? Why are we leaving? How did you get out? How did you escape?
Well, you phoned me by Logan's phone, didn't you?
Yeah, and whose blood is that on your face? And Harrison then comes to the conclusion that Dexter has killed Logan, and Logan was innocent. Dexter says, I didn't want to, but I had to. And yeah, I just, it was the first Dexter kill that I really was pissed off about, but, well, there was a couple of kills I didn't like, but this was the only one where I felt he crossed the line. So, essentially, Dexter kind of realises that Harrison is reasonably normal, and he's not like Dexter, and maybe Dexter thinks he was wrong to try and teach Harrison the code, and to try and reveal his true self to Harrison. And then Dexter thinks that the only way for Harrison to be normal is for him to die. And then he instructs Harrison to shoot him. So originally Harrison pointed the rifle at Dexter because Dexter was like, well, you don't want to come with me, but I have to leave. So, I mean, Dexter was willing just to abandon Harrison again here.
Yeah.
And then Harrison holds him at gunpoint, and then Dexter's kind of like, you know what? You should shoot me. It's the best thing. And he instructs Harrison to shoot him. Dexter then says that it's the first time he's felt real love, and it's like, really? I mean, Jesus Christ, what about Harry? I mean, what about the fact that he fucking lived with Deborah for years? What about Rita, who you had a kid with? I mean, what about this Angela, who you've spent the last 10 years pretending to be fucking Jim Lindsay with? Just felt a bit strange that the only time he's ever really felt true love is when his son's going to, gun him down. But Angela then arrives after the shot, and instead of arresting Harrison, she gives him some money, tells him to leave town, never return. And then we just kind of see Dexter bleeding out, supposedly dead, as Harrison rides out of town. He rides out of Iron Lake, and then Harrison reads Dexter's letter to Hannah about having to leave her and Harrison behind the first time. And that's how the series ends, with Harrison just driving out of Iron Lake, reading Dexter's letter for 10 years ago to Hannah. Not impressed.
It feels out of date. No, I can't. I don't know what it is for this franchise and fucking lackluster finales, or like series finales, because I feel like most of the time their season finales did alright, but just numerous problems with this. I feel like they tried so hard to get Dexter to become unlikable to justify the Harrison kill. You can just tell by this point that Harrison was not ready to lead this show. It felt so rushed. It felt so forced.
Harrison will never be ready to lead this show.
No. Dexter killing Logan just... right, I know you don't want to talk about Resurrection, but we need to. See, Resurrection proves that they just want to completely forget about New Blood. It's almost like New Blood didn't happen. The way they... Like, there's... When we watched Resurrection, we didn't watch New Blood. All we simply saw was the recap that caught us up. It's almost like, why would Harrison ever forgive Dexter for that Logan kill?
It's almost, I think it's almost like they want to continue from episode 1 of New Blood, where Harrison rocked up and met Dexter.
Yeah.
And they were, they reunited for the first time in like 10 years. I think they want to continue on from that and just forget about all the other shit that happened. And it just does feel a bit strange in Resurrection, the way Harrison knows who the true Dexter is. And he's okay with it, and he's just going to be like, you do your thing, Dad, and I'll do my thing. It is a bit fucking weird.
But see, in Resurrection, there is like... I'm pretty sure there's not even one mention of Logan.
No, there's not.
And that's the straw that broke the camel's back. The reason why Harrison killed Dexter is because he killed Logan. So why the fuck wouldn't that get brought up in Resurrection?
Logan was a better father figure to Harrison than Dexter ever was.
The only mention of Logan in Resurrection is Teddy talking to Dexter, saying that the charge for you against you from Logan is obviously it's been dropped to self-defense. And again, who was fighting that case for Dexter?
I mean, I guess he will. I mean, defence attorneys will defend it. I mean, they'll literally defend, like...
Yeah, but Dexter just woke up for the coma. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, he'll have...
So who was on Dex?
He'll have
Dexter
someone appointed to him, will he not?
Aye, but who? He
Some random unnamed lawyer, I don't know. I mean...
No, but that doesn't make sense, because he just woke up for the coma, so how'd Dexter get them? How did he pay them?
No, but they appoint someone for you. If you can't afford somebody, you'll be given...
So some fucking jobber with no credentials got him off with this. That's pretty good going. And again, Angela just disintegrates into thin air.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened with Angela, really.
And then Batista, it's like, what was season 2 of New Blood supposed to look like? What I think season 2 of New Blood was supposed to look like was Batista was going to rock up in New Blood, in Iron Lake, find out a few bits of information, then go after Harrison in New Blood.
Like he did Dexter, but instead of going after Dexter, he's going after Harrison.
I'm so glad they did Resurrection, because this would have been to me, I think this is much worse than the season 8 finale.
Yeah, I don't know, season 8 finale, I don't think it was that bad, it just wasn't that good.
I think they're lucky here they decided to shoot Dexter in the chest region and not the head. Because I think you can spin the chest region. Oh, it took his nipple off, it didn't actually hit his heart. If Harrison shoots him point blank in the fucking forehead...
Looked pretty close to the heart, like...
No, it did, but...
Yeah, maybe Dexter doesn't have one.
Aye, maybe it's on his right side. But see if he shoots him point blank in the head, I mean, you can't really come back for that.
No, true.
I just think it's ridiculous though, because in Resurrection there is no real mention of Angela. I think Teddy says she just left. You can tell in that show they want to distance themselves from New Blood. Now you thought Clyde Phillips wasn't involved in New Blood. He was.
Yeah, he was. I know he left after the fourth season of Dexter, so I didn't think he came back until Resurrection. But it turns out he did come back for New Blood. So I don't know. But I do remember after New Blood, I do remember reading an article saying where they were going to go back to like the original roots, and I think Resurrection was an upgrade, 100%. We'll need to rank them as well. I mean, we'll rank all... We'll probably add in... Should we add in Original Sin, or is it kind of harder to rank Original Sin? Because like
it's kind of harder, but I just thought this episode in this series was weird. I thought the series was alright.
What did you prefer, Original Sin or New Blood?
Probably Original Sin, to be honest.
Even though Dexter's not... Michael C. Hall's not Dexter.
I hear his voice, though.
Well, that is true.
No, but I don't think Original Sin made no sense. I actually thought it... I think it made sense. I think this, towards the end, lost it. Honestly, see...
I think New Blood had the better main villain, though.
I agree, but that's what
I'm
going to get to. See, in episode 10, it feels like Kurt Caldwell didn't even exist. See, apart from Dexter giving up his location of the bodies. Again, in Resurrection, there's no mention of Kurt Caldwell. Like... Batista's talking to Teddy, and there's like no reference to the fact that we just caught a serial killer who's killed like 400 women, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's other ways they could have done it. I mean, could they have kept Kurt alive for the finale and had Angela kill him or something? Maybe he was doing in the book.
But that's the problem, though. It's like, seeing you're killing Dexter in the episode after you've killed Kurt, Kurt's just going to feel like an afterthought. And that's the problem. I feel like that's why Dexter should not have... I can't believe this is actually Dexter's death. And like his end scene's like a 2-minute confrontation with Harrison.
Yeah, I don't know. First half of the episode I thought was good. And then I think the second half, once Dexter escaped, kind of sucked. And yeah, just disappointed. Oh, Batista's coming, then Batista's never seen again. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. It just felt like when Batista's coming, you needed like 2 more episodes. But it was only a 10-episode season. So, yeah, there you go. I will give Sins of the Father... I'll get a 5. I thought the first half was good, second half, very disappointing.
No, the insane thing is, though, like, say Resurrection doesn't exist and it's New Blood Season 2, right? But it happens the exact same way. See if you just write the ending of New Blood and the start of Resurrection, I think it can be done brilliantly. I think it can overlap. I actually think Clyde Phillips did a good job of saving it. It was episode 1 of Resurrection. But see if you know that Harrison's not killing Dexter. And I think you could wrap this up much more neater. I think Dexter can kill Logan without it looking like out-and-out murder.
Yeah,
I think there's ways around that kill. But look, see from the Resurrection perspective, it looked like... It feels like it...
Suppose maybe they need Dexter to kill Logan that way to give Harrison a reason to kill him.
True, but I think Dexter can kill Logan, but Harrison still thinks that he's evil for doing it. Without being like, I mean, cause I don't see how the Fear can't help but feel Dexter's like fucking. I mean, it feels like after 9 seasons, he's just went against his fucking morals in his last 5 minutes alive.
He broke the code. Anyway, I'm getting a 5 out of 10. What are you getting it?
I'll give a 4 out of 10.
4.5 guys out of 10 for the final episode of Dexter New Blood. We'll be back soon with ranking the characters, some tier lists, some good shit like that. But till next time, guys, that's it. 4.5 out of 10. Till then, peace.